You got red flags when I'm colorblind. I ignore the signs, yeah, you know the vibe. And I still get all the butterflies from your diamond eyes when you tell me lies. You're doing cartwheels in my head, releasing my dopamine. You're breaking bad and now I see. What a time just to be alive. Last night you told me things that you can't deny. Just friends hiding underneath your sheets. And your lips are reminiscent. You got red flags when I'm colorblind. I ignore the signs, yeah, you know the
تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی، تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. این فصل آخر است که آغاز میکنیم، این بار هم به نام حق اجاز میکنیم. دریا گواه ماست که فرعون نماندنیست. داریم سوی معرکه پرواز میکنیم، داریم سوی معرکه پرواز میکنیم. درستم دمدنی، درستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. بزن که خوب میزنی، نفرس از این که دارد رو به رویت ناو میآید، که دارد سوی یک شیر گرسنه گاو میآید. تو رستم تهمتنی، تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. به فرق تاق و تختشان، به زندگی نحسشان، به قلب دشمن دنی بزن که خوب میزنی. نمیبینی به ایران باز هم طاغوت برگردد، نمیبینی به ایران باز هم طاغوت برگردد. تجاوز کار میبایست با تابوت برگردد. تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. از این نبرد خسته شد، ابهتش شکسته شد. طلسم دیو بشکنی، بزن که خوب میزنی. اگرچه داغ فرزندانمان جان سوز است، ولی تاریخ میگوید که خون بر تیغ پیروز است. بگو با زورگویان استقامت میکند ایران، ببین در معرکه اینک قیامت میکند ایران. تو رستم تهمتنی، تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. بزن که خوب میزنی، خداست یار و یاورت، توکل است لشکرت. تو فوق هرچه آهنی، تو فوق هرچه آهنی. بزن که خوب حسینی با یزیدی صلح یک ساعت نخواهد کرد. کسی مانند ما با مثل او بیعت نخواهد کرد. شبیه چارپا در باطلاق مرگ وامانده، ببین بر روی تحصیلی ایران به جا مانده. بزن که خوب میزنی، بزن که خوب میزنی. قریب شادی جهان رسیده تا به آسمان. تو آن امید روشنی، بزن که خوب میزنی. با رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی. به قلب دشمن دنی، طلسم دیو بشکنی. تو فوق هرچه آهنی، بزن تو رستم تهمتنی، تو شیر پیل افکنی.
All right. Hello. Good morning. I'm a owl. Nice to see you all. All right. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Things have hit the fan. How are you doing? What day is it? It's Wednesday, June 3rd. It's 5:07 a.m. U.S. wartime here in Boston. It's nice to see you all. It is 11:07 a.m. in South Africa. It's 12:07 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and it's 12:37 p.m. in Tehran, Iran. All hell is broken loose. The Kuwait airport is burning down. All hell has broken loose. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how this escalated so quickly. I'll give you a general summary. There was a very good overview last night. I just went to bed. You know, I'm kind of on towel girlfriend time. So I went to bed. I woke up at about 3 a.m. Eastern this morning, and all I hear is that the Kuwait airport is burning down. So I had to go figure out what happened. Mind you, as you know, if you've been following this stream over recent days, we were on the precipice of some kind of breakthrough in South Lebanon and North Israel after Beirut almost got bombed. And then Mr. President Trump yelled at Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. Things kind of calmed down. All right. Then out of nowhere, the U.S. bombs Keshem Island last night, a communications facility. Iran gets rid of this conventional rules of engagement tit-for-tat response during the ceasefire and just bombs the ever-loving hell out of Kuwait. And they bombed Kuwait's airport to the point where it's burning down, and now no more flights can go into Kuwait or out of Kuwait because they don't have an airport. Well, they have a building that technically could be described as an airport, but it's burning down and completely destroyed. Iran is really mad. They told the U.S. not to bomb them. The U.S. bombed them. They bombed the ever-loving hell out of Kuwait. I don't know what to tell you. It's 5 in the morning. I'm having an energy drink, and Kuwait is burning down. Now, that's one situation. The other situation is even though Hezbollah hasn't attacked in Israel for 24 hours, well, hadn't attacked until 10 minutes ago for 24 hours, Israel kept bombing in Sidon and other areas of southern Lebanon for no reason. No reason. Hezbollah was not attacking. I can prove it. I have the logs. Israel just kept bombing, so Hezbollah just attacked Kiryat Shimona like 10 minutes ago. That's the other situation. The third situation is that Russia is hosting its annual, St. Petersburg International Economic Conference today. All right, Putin's supposed to come there and talk about how great, Russia is. Well, Putin did not get President Zelensky's permission, unlike with the May Day parade, which Putin did get permission for. He didn't get President Zelensky's permission. So Ukraine issued a bunch of long-range sanctions like an hour ago as the conference was starting, and all these attendees are looking around and the bombs are just falling on St. Petersburg. That was quite a welcome for Mr. President Putin. Yes, we definitely need a towel update this morning. So let me just read you. Let me have British Reporter Towel give you the overview, the quick overview, and then I'll take you through all their primary sources. I have them all amalgamated and ready to present to you. And then I have enough adrenaline to run from here to California. I don't know if my body could do that, but my brain certainly could. Take it away, British Reporter Towel.
Conversation. What happened in the Gulf in the last hours? One report circulated of an American attack on Iran's Keshem Island. 2 reports circulated of an American strike on an Iranian commercial tanker. 3 Iranian-affiliated media reported an Iranian attack on U.S. bases in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE, as well as on the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. Despite the severe censorship imposed by the Gulf states, some footage of the Iranian attack managed to escape censorship in Kuwait and Bahrain. See attached videos. 4 US CENTCOM says it thwarted the Iranian attack on regional neighbors. CENTCOM claims its attack on Qeshm came in retaliation for an Iranian attack on regional neighbors. However, the attack on Qeshm occurred prior to reports of the Iranian attack on U.S. bases in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, and Kuwait. 5 U.S. Secretary of War shared a footage of the United States launching a Hellfire missile at an Iranian commercial oil tanker in the Gulf. See screenshot. 6 IRGC says it targeted an American-Israeli-linked ship called MSCPANAYA in response to this aggression and violation of the regulations governing the Strait of Hormuz. Says IRGC. IRGC also said that the American attack on Qeshm targeted an IRGC communications tower.
Alright, so let's take it one thing at a time. Here's the first footage out of Kuwait when the missiles started coming in. This was overnight. This was last night. This is Kuwait. Those are interceptors. Yes, George, that's the 5th Naval Fleet is centered in Bahrain. We pulled a lot of people out, but that's where it's all there. The 5th Fleet's forward base is in Bahrain. Now we have a very intense base in Kuwait called the I forget the name, I'll get it for you in a second. It was hit last night. We got hit hard. We got hit really hard, and Kuwait suffered really bad. Like, we have to respond to this. It was not a missile of love. This was a very intense attack, and we were hit. And the Kuwait airport is now gone. It's non-functional. It's burning. And we have done nothing. The president probably slept through this, which is very concerning. This was Kuwait last night. If you're just tuning in, this was Kuwait a few hours ago. There has been a drastic escalation. The Kuwaiti airport is burning down. Here's more footage from Kuwait last night. Bahrain. First footage was Kuwait. This is Bahrain. Notice the different tone of the emergency alerts. Different countries use different tones. Some countries use different pulses of tones, but they use the same tone. We pulled a lot out, George, but not from these places. These are our primary bases. The base in Bahrain, we can't pull out of there. It's where the 5th Fleet is located in that area. Bahrain is what you're looking at now. Kuwait, we can't pull out of either. It's Ali Al Qud or something air base. It's one of our most important bases in the entire region. Outside of the base in Qatar, which is CENTCOM's forward base. CENTCOM is based out of Florida, but its forward base operationally in the region is in Doha. Yes, George, you're 100% right, which is why I think this is all about to pop off. They're hitting our primary assets, our 5th Fleet naval assets in Bahrain, and they hit our big base in Kuwait, and they destroyed the Kuwait International Airport. All in like 3 hours. Iran has tons of... These are not even the, quote, good missiles. These are... what Iran is firing at its... Think about it. They don't have to go very far. I'm not talking to George, just in general. Think about where Iran is compared to Kuwait and Bahrain. They don't have to use their good missiles. They just have to... This is Iran right here behind my head. All they have to do is fire it like maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 miles across the Persian Gulf to hit Kuwait. These are their old missiles that are about to expire. They're gearing up for something. If they want to hit Israel, they use their, quote, intense new missiles. It's very dangerous. I know, this is a very bad situation. So here's what the Defense Secretary shared last night. This is a video that the Defense Secretary shared of a U.S. Hellfire missile striking an Iranian ship. Yeah, that was a strike. Right in the engine room. That disables the ship. They're not trying to sink it, they're trying to disable it. If they wanted to sink it, they would hit it over here with a giant explosion that would blow like 4 of the containment holes. They're just trying to hit the engine room. That's the engine room right there. You see how it's near where the motors are? So this is a precision. See that missile? That's the missile. It's going to hit the engine room. So it strikes, and see the hole it leaves? It's not trying to sink the damn thing. It's above the water line. It's trying to disable its engines. So that was the summary of overnight. Now, let me show you what's going on right now in the Kuwaiti airport. This is from Ariel Orsan from I-24 News in Israel. Look at the Kuwaiti airport this morning, folks. This is right now. The Kuwaiti airport is destroyed.
هذا الحريق هذه مسيرة طاحت
What the hell?
فوق أمل الكويت.
What the hell? And nothing has been done. I swear to you, this was hours ago. We've done nothing. No one has done anything.
هذه
They destroyed the entire airport, and the U.S. was like, well, okay. Listen, this has reached a new level of ridiculousness. The Iran, look at them flexing on the Middle East. This is what we've done. This is what we've created. This is what this war created. An unchecked Iranian ballistic missile program that can just decimate the Kuwaiti airport, and then Iran's like, oh yeah, do something about it. Not good. I have covered this war every day for 90 days. I know every single thing that has happened. How did this happen? It happened out of nowhere. Iran threatened. How many times did I cover statements from the IRGC saying if we bombed Iran one more time, they were going to use disproportionate force? Hello? Hello? They just destroyed the Kuwaiti airport. It's gone. It's not going to function for a long time. And then they hit our base, and they hit the Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. God only knows what they hit in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi's very good at censorship. Kuwait and Bahrain have rulers that are not the majority in the country, so their citizens leak footage. And then they throw them in jail for life for it. It's a very intense country, both of them, Kuwait and Bahrain. My point is, this is bad. This is on a scale of 1 to bad. This is apocalyptic. This is apoplectic. This is horrifying. Nothing. It is more horrifying that this has happened and nothing was done than if there were an all-out war going on right now. There's silence from the West. Collective silence. I'm not exaggerating. Collective silence. They either attack now or the entire Middle East, the entire world's geopolitical orientation has shifted. If this goes unanswered, Iran is in charge. At least they're one of the axis of control in the modern world. Yeah, and here's the problem, George. If we hit them like that, they have their own dead man switch too. They have their strike they're going to do. And they haven't used their intense missiles. I think we covered a little bit how when Iran hit Arad, they only hit it with a 565 kilogram warhead going at Mach 5. If they hit it with a 5,000 kilogram warhead going at Mach 5, half of that city, half of Beersheba would be leveled. If they hit Tel Aviv with a 5,000 kilogram warhead at Mach 5, they could destroy 25 city blocks at a time. And they have hundreds of those missiles. I tried to be nice and, an objective, down the middle journalist, but how do you deal with just blatant lies and propaganda when one state, the U.S., is saying, no, Iran has no missiles left, they're completely decimated in terms of their firing capacity, and then the objective reality is Iran hasn't used 1/10 of its strategic ballistic missile capabilities. They have missiles that are very, very intense, and we cannot stop them. The best Israel has, it has Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow. The best it can hope to do is intercept a medium-range intercontinental ballistic missile. They have nothing that can intercept a hypersonic missile. You can't fly a jet to intercept a hypersonic missile. The fastest jet in the world, the F-22 Raptor, goes Mach 2.5. That's 1,500 miles an hour. These missiles, when they're exothermic, go Mach 15. That's very fast. You're talking 9 to 11,000 miles an hour, 16 to 18,500 kilometers an hour. Then, when they enter the atmosphere, they still go Mach 5 to Mach 8, which is at least 3 to 4,000 miles an hour. It's faster than our jets, faster than our interceptors. It's very, very dangerous. Michael Brown says, what's more startling than the world's silence is that you are the only one giving us any sensible breakdown of unfolding events and only 43 people are watching. Well, Michael, to be fair, it's 5 in the morning. It's actually 2 in the morning on the West Coast in the U.S. Most of America is asleep. the morning news in the United States does start at 5 a.m. That's the earliest. But the reality is the entire country is sleeping. They will wake up. You'll see they will wake up over the next few hours. They're going to be pretty shocked by this. They're sleeping right now. Legitimately, they're sleeping. I'm a little bit worried the president slept through this. It's a very bad situation. You cannot leave this you can't just leave it. But the silence is deafening. It's very concerning. Yeah, it's just very ominous. Like the silence, there's a real potential this could go completely unanswered because the U.S. feels that it's tactically cornered, because if it bombs back, then Iran's going to bomb the ever-loving hell out of Israel, and they want to. They've been waiting to. They want an excuse. They don't want to look like the aggressor. They want to look like they're responding disproportionately to American aggression. That gives them cover diplomatically to do it. So they're inviting this. They're saying, do it. They've been waiting for this. This was never a ceasefire. It was never a deal. It was always, if you bomb, from the Iranian perspective, which they have said over and over and over, if you bomb us, we are going to bomb the ever-loving hell out of you disproportionately. And then Mr. President would go out there saying, well, they don't have any missiles or Navy or Air Force. They're just destroyed. And Iran's probably sitting there like, what? What? When should we show him this lack of missiles that we have? I'm mad. Let me show you more from the Kuwaiti airport, which is just destroyed. It's quite literally destroyed. This is this morning in Kuwait. I agree with you, George, but it's put the United States in an untenable position. Our military prestige is being humiliated. This is what I was worried about. Our tactical deterrent is gone. They don't care. And we can't stop them. We did not stop this missile. That missile went right into the heart of that airport and blew it up. Kuwait no longer has an airport. I'm telling you right now, Kuwait no longer has an airport. It might have pieces of an airport, but it does not have an airport. It hit the main passenger terminal. Hello, Rekka. Everything has gone to hell in a handbasket. Kuwait's airport is gone. Yeah, I don't know what the markets are going to do in response to this. If there's no response from the U.S. by 9:30 a.m., the markets are going to panic. What's the Japanese index doing? You can look at the Nikkei. It'll tell you what's going on. The Nikkei and the Shanghai Composite are predictors of what the U.S. market will do when it opens. The Nikkei is up 2.5. It hasn't responded yet to this. The Shanghai Composite, one second. The Shanghai Composite, so the Nikkei's up 2.5%. The Shanghai Composite is up 0.22. They haven't really responded to this. We won't see. So the markets tend to move basically like in line with the developments on the ground. There's like an hour lag. And they also move a lot based on what the Financial Times says in London. So you got to look at that, like the pink sheet from the Financial Times in the morning. But the pink sheet's not going to have this. And then you got to look at the markets react. This is a very volatile period between now and 9:30 a.m. Eastern, so 4.5 hours. Like that will determine what the U.S. markets do today. This is a very bad situation. And a lot of people are sleeping because, frankly, no one expected this. It was completely out of nowhere. Hello, I cannot pronounce that Persian, but hello and welcome to the channel. God bless the people of Iran and Lebanon and Iraq and the United States. This is a channel with 180 countries that have watched over the past 90 days. So you'll find it's a very welcoming channel with a lot of disparate perspectives. But yes, I cannot pronounce your name because I don't know how to pronounce Persian, but very good to see you and welcome. The internet is back in Iran. People were watching in Iran during the blackout, which blew my mind. It made me think that the government was watching. Because only the government and like the diplomatic corps of Iran had internet access during the blackout. Hello, Andre King. Good morning. Yeah, Rekka, I'm not sure. I think most of the world is sleeping, frankly. I think this happened at I think this was tactically designed so that the U.S. leadership would be sleeping. They were caught sleeping, literally caught sleeping. I'll show you what happened. Let me just show you what happened. This was a bad series of events. And then we'll get to what's going on today in St. Petersburg and what happened overnight in Kiev. All right. So it all started with this situation in Beirut, as you all know. This kind of escalated over the past few days because Netanyahu threatened to bomb Beirut. As you know, one of the key red lines for the Iranians in the U.S. negotiations is no bombing Beirut by the IDF. And also there's red lines about the Strait of Hormuz and fees but that's separate and distinct from the Lebanese issue. So after the sort of threat by Israel to bomb Beirut, the IRGC issued a mandatory evacuation notice for Haifa, Nir Tanya, basically from Haifa to Metula, like the entire north of Israel, like from Haifa north, okay? And then the IRGC said something that was really shocking. They said that the Palestinians should be prepared to take back that land because they're going to use their missiles to force the settlers out and allow the Palestinians to go in. That's what told me, all right, this is very bad. This is historically bad. And this happy talk from the West is masking or betraying a very serious on-the-ground reality, which is that people are going to start getting bombed. And I was worried about that. There was this pensive apprehension because people were not telling the truth in the West. It was concerning. Two Bear, hello, good to see you. Let me give you the update from the president of Ukraine, who anticipated that there would be more strikes overnight yesterday afternoon. So let's take a listen to his update. Then I'll show you what happened in Kiev. Then I'll show you what happened in St. Petersburg in retaliation for what happened in Kiev. Then I'll show you what happened in Lebanon. Then I'll show you what happened in Bahrain and Kuwait. And then I'll show you the missiles firing. Then I'll show you an Iranian TV report translated into English in line with the new instruction from the supreme leader of Iran that Iranian state TV, without revealing secrets, is supposed to be showing more real-time footage to the people of Iran, which I think is fascinating. It's like Mohammad Khomeini is slowly changing things from the previous more conservative, tepid sort of supreme leader, which was his father. It's fascinating. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's take a listen to the Ukrainian president foretelling that there was going to be an intensive series of strikes on Kiev, Kharkiv, Dnipro, and other areas of Ukraine overnight by the Russians, which there was.
Шановні українці, українки, сьогодні сотні людей і в Києві, і в Дніпрі, в інших містах працювали після російського масованого удару. Гасили пожежі, допомагали пораненим, діставали людей з-під завалів. Рятувальники ДСНС України, поліцейські, працівники комунальних служб, екстренки. Я вдячний усім, хто допомагає зберегти життя після російських атак. Жорстокий був удар, більше ніж 70 ракет, багато балістики, більше ніж 650 дронів за ніч. Вдень сьогодні росіяни продовжили атаки, ще близько 100 дронів було. На жаль, рівень постачання для нашої ППО зараз не дозволяє збивати значну частину ракет. Були влучання. 130 людей постраждали. На жаль, 22 людини загинули. 2 дітей серед них. Мої співчуття усім, хто втратив рідних та близьких. Вкотре Путін зі своїм божевіллям перемогли життя звичайних дітей. Житлові будинки, поліклініку в Києві. Шахеди були проти багатоповерхівок в Дніпрі та чомусь проти ще й автосалону з китайськими машинами в Києві. Циркон одразу проти 7 будинків. Шахеди по будинкам в Харкові, Запоріжжі, Полтавщині, удари по Чернігівщині, Сумщині, Херсонщині. Шахеди проти Хмельницької області. Кожен з цих дронів, всі типи російських ракет взагалі не можуть вироблятись без компонентів, які завозять з інших країн. Тобто в кожному з таких ударів є, може хоч і несвідома, але все ж таки співучасть тих, хто працює на Росії, хто забезпечує Росію грошима, хто допомагає їй обходити санкції та шукати не просто 1 чи 2, а тисячі компонентів, без яких російське воєнне виробництво просто зупиниться. 5 ракет «Калібр» – це 145 таких компонентів. 33 «Іскандери». Це 1122 компоненти, 650 ударних дронів різних типів. Це більше ніж 17 тисяч компонентів, без яких неможливо виробити їх. Масштабні схеми, щоб обійти санкції. Це абсолютно реальна співучасть у вбивствах. Сьогодні була доповідь ГУР, зокрема щодо російських ракетних виробництв. Ми готуємо додаткові заходи нашої протидії. Знаємо, що росіяни надзвичайно бояться і наших українських ракетних спроможностей. Українські компанії, які демонструють прогрес у розробці та виробництві всіх типів наших ракет, Росія позначає собі серед найголовніших цілей в усіх сенсах цих слів. Ми будемо реагувати. Важливо, щоб наші партнери теж діяли достатньо сильно. Треба створювати проблему Росії, щоб їй було складніше ламати життя інших. Зараз робота в Євросоюзі по 21-му пакету санкцій ведеться. Нами ведеться активно. Ми розраховуємо, що наші українські пропозиції до санкцій будуть працювати. Треба більше інструментів, щоб не допускати обхід санкцій. Варто включити це в 21-й пакет. Саме все те, що обмежить російське воєнне виробництво.
Yep.
Я вдячний.
And George, I didn't love all the leaders that we worked with to fight the commies. It's a zero-sum equation in my eyes. I don't like Putin. I think he's dangerous. I think the European Union can constrain Ukraine more so than anyone can constrain Putin. So for me, like, you gotta stand up against the rise of the BRICS or we're gonna lose this country. We're gonna lose what makes America the best and most powerful country in the world, which is our like economic influence, like geopolitically. And as a result, if the choice is Putin or Zelensky, I'm going Zelensky for American interests.
Усім, хто допомагає із цим. Я вдячний також кожному лідеру, всім нашим партнерам, які сьогодні не мовчали, засудили цей російський удар. Ми знаємо від розвідки, що масований удар може бути і цієї ночі. Будь ласка, дуже вас прошу, звертайте увагу на тривогу. Всім партнерам разом, усім в Європі потрібно і надалі працювати, щоб були ракети для нашої ППО.
Rick, I know, but you gotta separate the government of America from the people. I think a lot of the people you know here, Rekka, even though they don't say it, they're actually American. Like, you talk to a lot of the real perspectives on the ground. The government of America, just like the government of any country, is not really its people. The government of America has done things in the name of its people that most of the people do not agree with. So I think that's just I would say that that's an appropriate critique of American geopolitical policy, especially post-PNAC over the past 30, 50, 70 years. But at the same time, I don't think it's a fair critique of the American polity, who by and by would probably not support a lot of the actions of the government that are done in its name. So just an important bifurcation. Like, I don't generalize all people of any country based on the actions of their government, because I think there's a lot of like suppressed discontent around the world, no matter what form of government you're in. I think it's an unfortunate reality of just raw, ruthless political power.
Що були необхідні системи і життєво важливі розвіддані та інші речі, які допомагають рятувати життя. Очевидно, що в Європі треба свою
Oh, Two Bear says they had a vision. President Grant Smith Ellis. You have a presidential name for sure. Oh, God bless you, Two Bear. It will be my honor to come out to the wonderful state of Hawaii and to hang out and to learn all about Hawaii and to represent the interests of the people of Hawaii when I become president. That'll be great. You can come to the White House, Two Bear. You can be my official undersecretary for Hawaiian affairs. It'll be great.
балістичну систему достатньо.
We gotta fix that stadium in Honolulu. I know it has rust issues. We gotta build a proper stadium out there, not out of metal. All right, we gotta build it in a rust-resistant way. And then we gotta deal with a bunch of other sort of issues as to Hawaii. The prices of retail goods because of the shipping are far too expensive. We gotta find a more efficient way to get goods to Hawaii to reduce prices. I've been out to Hawaii. It's a very beautiful place. It takes a long time to get there. I can actually fly directly Boston to Honolulu. I would probably stop in San Francisco first because I don't like flying for that long. It's really hard on my towel body. But the point is, God bless the people of Hawaii. I would love to come learn more about you and how to represent your interests should I become president.
Достатню силу, щоб гарантувати захист від будь-якої загрози.
Well, Vermont Bread, you know, I happen to think stimulant use is actually very prevalent among world leaders. They tend to be up like 18 hours a day. So, you know, I'd prefer they get a prescription, but like as long as they're within their right mind and not acting egregiously, like Hitler obviously when, you know, was like being shot up by Dr. Morell with like amphetamine before he woke up, it drove him into psychosis and then he did horrible things. So we shouldn't do that, but like I don't know. I can't really tell world leaders that they can't use prescribed stimulants. I'd prefer that they be prescribed, but I'm not, you know, in a position to tell them how to run their country as long as they don't make ludicrous decisions and hurt innocent people. All right, so last night, let me just remind you, by the way, for 24 hours straight, yesterday from 3:36 a.m. Eastern Time until today at 3:36 a.m. Eastern Time, there were no attacks by Hezbollah on northern Israel. Hello, Paul Sar. It's so good to see you. Paul Sar says, oh, God bless you too, Bear. Paul Sar says, it's so good to see you, my friend. Grant, we might be better off with our global geopolitical dominance, but the world is changing and feel they would be better off without our global dominance. I agree. I think we should have a pluralistic world sphere. What I'm more concerned about is the rise of like an anti-democratic authoritarianism seeking unipolar control. So I think it's a zero-sum equation. I'm not willing to just cede control of the international order like completely to the like this sort of Eastern Bloc with the sort of terrain. I've read Darkness at Noon. I know what happens under dictatorships. So we got to figure out how to impose pluralism. So I like to walk tall, carry a big stick, but then like impose cultural pluralism. I'm more of a Rawlsian than like a Fukuyama end of history guy. I'm closer to Huntington. I do think you have to walk tall and carry a big stick, but you don't have to impose neoliberalism. You can impose pluralism. Like toleration without a big stick is just asking everyone to be nice, and that's not going to work. So, hello, Vermont Bread. It's so good to see you. All right, so last night, as I mentioned, there were no attacks by Hezbollah in Israel for 24 hours. But while Hezbollah was holding back, which might have actually played into why Iran struck Kuwait as well, although they didn't say it, Israel was bombing the hell out of southern Lebanon. That was Deir Kanun. All right. Now I'll show you. There was also some rioting in Southampton last night. There was a man named Henry Novak who was stabbed by this other man. And this other man, England has these really intense rules about not talking about trials while they're taking place. But the man who stabbed Henry, let me make sure I get it right. Henry Novak. The man who stabbed Henry Novak was convicted and jailed yesterday or the day before. So all the details of the case came out. It turns out that this man, Henry Novak, was just walking along and got stabbed by this other man. The police came and arrested Henry Novak, pressed their leg down on his neck. He's saying to them in the video, I'm stabbed, sir. Like, I'm dying. I can't breathe. I'm dying. That man stabbed me. They arrested Henry because the man who stabbed him, the terrorist, accused Henry of racism. And Henry died in police custody. And this was not known. Now, the more I think about it, the more angry this makes me. And you know what made it even worse? The same police force in the UK that took the knee, whether you agree or disagree, when George Floyd was killed, would not take the knee to honor Henry Novak yesterday, which led the people of Southampton in the United Kingdom to basically riot. They were really mad. And, you know, I have a difficult time. I don't support what they were being physically violent, but I have a difficult time saying they don't have a right to protest after that man got stabbed, then arrested, and was killed in police custody while he's telling the cops he was stabbed and dying. I know it's not related to the war, but it made me really angry. The UK, that's a disgrace. That's just and no one, watch, there will be no statements in the US, no soccer, no football clubs are going to wear an armband for this man. There's going to be no protests across the world. Nobody's going to care. And it just shows you the hypocrisy latent to the liberal mind It's disgusting. They don't care about whether someone dies in police custody. They care about whether they can use it for political points. And Henry Novak's death is going to go completely uncovered and dishonored, frankly, by all the same people who were telling us how bad it was that George Floyd got was killed himself while in police custody during an arrest, under, in my opinion, far less egregious circumstances than what happened to Henry Novak. So I just want to make that clear. Somebody's got to talk about it. The U.S. media will black it out because they're cowards. They're cowards. But I'll talk about it. Cowardly liberal U.S. media. Not that I don't have some, liberal tendencies. I think we got to have a social safety net, but not gratuitously on those social issues. I think being gratuitously liberal is, what is that word? Empathy, that S word with empathy after it. It's dangerous, and I think the UK has a lot to sort out. All right, I showed you the scenes from Kuwait. Let me show you more scenes from Kuwait last night before we get, and then let's dive into what happened. This was Kuwait last night. Well, I think people have been immigrating and emigrating for a very long time, but I do think there's something about modern cultural assimilation that's being weaponized to undermine sort of like the Western world order. That's just my opinion, but you're entitled to your opinion. That was Kuwait last night. Now, let me show you more scenes from on the ground in Kuwait. These were the missiles that were targeting the airport and the U.S. base in Kuwait.
Sure. It's fucking there.
This was Kuwait last night. Very rare to get footage out of Kuwait.
Sure.
Dude speaks English too. Good English.
It's fucking there.
Yep, that did indeed get intercepted over your house. I hope that man is okay. All right, now let's take a look at more from the attack on the 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. This is Bahrain. This is the missiles that were launched at Bahrain. Those look like interceptors. I'll be able to tell you more in a second. That looks like an IRGC launch.
MashaAllah!
IRGC launch. Yeah, I think they're attacking again. Huh? All right. Yeah, they've definitely gone back to a hot war. Let me show you more from the 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain being struck last night by the Iranians. They've attacked. They've hit our boys and our girls, our daughters and sons, as the military command would say. We've been hit. The 5th Fleet, the Kuwait's been hit. If you're just tuning in, we've been hit. Kuwait's been hit. Their airport is burning down. Bahrain has been hit, the 5th Fleet headquarters. Saudi Arabia has been hit. We've been hit. This is out of Bahrain, where the 5th Fleet naval headquarters was hit. America has been attacked. Oh, That was a hit. What are you talking about? Interception. That was a hit. Oh, dear God. Look at that. That was not an interception. Did you not see that explosion in the background? That was a hit. Look at that. Look at the... Watch. Look at that. You see that flash through the sensor? That's a hit. They hit our boys. Oh, no. All right. All right. They've left us no choice. Oh, no. Here's more from the U.S. 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain being hit last night. We've been hit. The Iranians have hit us. They hit us pretty hard. They hit Kuwait really hard. Kuwait doesn't have an airport anymore. Kuwait's airport is burning. You do not need to adjust your television set. Kuwait's airport is burning. It's destroyed. You're looking at an Iranian Shahed drone flying over Bahrain last night now. Multiple attacks by the Iranians. That's an Iranian drone flying over Bahrain, going to hit the U.S. Naval 5th Fleet headquarters, which is exactly how the war started on February 28th. Oh, dear goodness. What have we done? They attacked first. Well, we attacked on Qashm Island, and then they just railed us. Oh, no. What have we done? What have they done? Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Here's more from the attack on the 5th Fleet headquarters. I think we just watched this one. Yeah, we just watched this one. All right, so there have definitely been multiple attacks. There has been no response by the U.S. so far whatsoever. There's been no response by anyone, in fact, to any of this. All right, here's more footage from the attack on the U.S. base in Kuwait. So I just showed you footage from Bahrain. Now I'm taking you to Kuwait. Oh, this footage is wild, actually. So in this video, you're going to see the missile interceptors go up. You're going to see then you're going to see the Iranian missiles coming in. Then you're going to see a dude crash his car. This is pretty wild. Let me give you full screen for this. This was in Kuwait just a few hours ago.
طلع من هنا يا رب شوفه صادم مسك سكه محمد مسك سكه العن امه العن امه اخ العيال اخ العيال اخ العيال وقف رجال دعم وقف والله يلا شو خذاني شو صار شو خذاني ابن شو ذول ابن تشهد
Well, that's the craziest piece of footage you're going to see today. Let's watch that one more time. That was wild.
اخ العيال يرب طالع من قدام اخ العيال بس دق شغل خضر شو وين طلع من هنا يا رب شوفه صادم مسك سكه محمد مسك سكه العن امه اخ العيال وقف رجال دعم وقف
This is Kuwait last night.
شو خذاني ابن شو ذول
Kim, you have a wonderful walk.
تشهد وقف اخ العيال يرب طالع من قدام اخ العيال
This is Kuwait.
دق شغل خضر
Last night. Again, I'm going to play it one more time because you're just never going to see footage like this again. The car just crashes. Oh, goodness. And then after it crashes, they just keep firing more interceptors. The dude's just driving on the highway. I don't think he paid attention to the alerts. That's just crazy. That's one of the... I've seen some intense footage. Just a series of events there from like missile coming in, missile interceptors going up, car crash, keep driving, pull over to make sure the guy in the car is okay, but then the missile interceptors keep going so he can't stop. That was a wild piece of footage. That was Kuwait. If you're tuning in, this is not like new footage that's just being uploaded from during the war. This happened overnight. We have been attacked. We were attacked in Bahrain at the 5th Fleet Naval Headquarters. We were attacked in Kuwait at one of our air bases, and then also Kuwait's airport is burning. It's destroyed. All flights are now suspended in and out of Kuwait. And we were hit in Saudi Arabia, but there's a lot of censorship in Saudi Arabia, so I don't have any footage of those hits. We've been attacked. Hello, Got Manners. It's so good to see you. Hello, Hazairness. Yes, we are under attack, and no one has done anything. This is the first time I've ever said this over 90 days. America has been struck. Our bases have been hit really hard. We've done nothing. Kuwait's airport is burning down. They've done nothing. Nobody has done anything. We're asleep at the wheel. Oh no. Does that mean I'm in charge? Hashtag towel for president. Okay, what should we do? Let me think. I'm going to have to mull it over with my towel kitchen cabinet. I don't have any ideas right now. I'm going to have to think about this. Allow me to smoke my cigar. I don't think my conclusion is I should not be in charge of this. Where is our command and control structure? Where's the military? Where's the Department of Defense? Where's the president? Why is it 6 in the morning and no one's done anything? Shouldn't they be awake? Shouldn't they be yelling? Shouldn't they be bombing things? I don't really know. I'm very upset. All I know is I should not be in charge right now. Maybe in the future, but right now I can't be making these calls. Why am I the only one awake? This is not good. America has fallen asleep at the wheel. Mr. President, somebody wake up the president. Somebody call the Pope. Actually, we don't need the Pope yet. We might need the Pope. Keep the Pope on standby. But first we need the president. Somebody wake up the president. I really can't do anything until somebody wakes up the president. He's got to convene an emergency meeting of the National Security Council in the Situation Room. And then he's got to make a decision. You can't let this kind of thing go. Well, you can, I suppose. But the result of letting this kind of thing go unanswered is just, it's very unpalatable, to put it lightly. Rekka's like, I think Trump's saying the same thing. I'm not in charge. Michael Brown, I think Mr. President was last seen, I want to say Friday in public, maybe Saturday. I have not seen him speak since then, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I haven't seen him speak in public since then. But he could have. I just might have missed it. But I do tend to see when he speaks in public because people clip it. He called into CNBC, I think, on Sunday. I listened to some of the transcript. Two Bear, you are indeed awake, my friend. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen today, but let me just tell you it's not going to be good. Now, going to Russia now. Remember how I told you that a bunch of international folks like Candace Owens from America, other people are all in Russia, where President Putin's going to give a speech at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum? Well, here's the greeting, because President Putin forgot to get permission from President Zelensky of Ukraine. President Zelensky of Ukraine sanctioned the meeting. This is what the attendees got on their way into the conference. That's an oil depot in St. Petersburg burning from a Ukrainian long-range sanction. Yeah, that's quite a message. I don't know if President Putin's going to be able to give his speech. What if one of the drones hits the building? Damn right, Two Bear. You get those trolls. All right, now let me take you to Kuwait now, where either an American missile failed to intercept a Ukrainian drone and self-destructed, or an American missile intercepted a Iranian missile or drone, and this is the result. This is Kuwait last night. Oh, goodness. I'll show it to you full screen. This is Kuwait last night. Probably a few hours ago now. Wow. Looks like fireworks, but it's actually an interceptor. That's crazy. We're starting to see some stuff we have not seen before. I think the Iranians upped the stakes a little bit last night. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, yep, that's intense. That is very, very intense. I mean, I've seen some stuff, but I'm starting to see stuff I have not seen before, and I don't think we can defend against this. I'm telling you, we're walking into a Thucydides trap here. It's called an escalation trap. They're beating us, and we're going to take the bait. You know why? Because, well, You can't just let those kind of attacks go unanswered. Let me take you back to St. Petersburg, where conference attendees at the St. Petersburg International Economic Conference, where President Putin is scheduled to speak in just a few hours, woke up to these scenes, which are Ukrainian long-range sanctions. This is just an hour ago. President Zelensky certainly has a way about him, I suppose one could say. That's anti-aircraft fire. When they get desperate, they use small arms to shoot drones. Yeah, so this isn't just a regular day in St. Petersburg. This is Russia's, like, big conference. All of their dignitaries go. Putin gives his big speech where he talks about how Russia has the greatest economy in the world, how they're an impenetrable military fortress, etc., etc., etc. Well, he didn't get President Zelensky's permission, so as a result, St. Petersburg is burning. I'm not kidding. This is the result of President Putin calling an international conference without permission from President Zelensky. This was occurring as all the attacks by Iran on the various Gulf states and U.S. bases were occurring. This is all happening simultaneously. This is what the world is going to wake up to. This is, again, St. Petersburg this morning.
Посмотрите, что у нас происходит. Калининский район, 6 утра. Вот я с балкона своего дома смотрю на это. Вот что у нас происходит. На самом деле взрывается. У нас трясутся окна. Вот мы с сыном спрятались за правило двух стен. Вот я просто сейчас вышла посмотреть, потому что пришла новость, что у нас порт горит. Вот у нас там порт. Вот видите? И вот, смотрите, вот дома вот напротив. На самом деле страшно, ужасно. Вот. В общем, все, что происходит, действительно происходит рядом с нами. То есть это не где-то там, не у кого-то там.
That's anti-aircraft fire.
Продолжается по прогнозам на Красносельском.
So she's filming this during the attack on St. Petersburg.
Так что будьте осторожны, берегите себя.
I don't speak Russian, but she's trying to explain what happened.
Помочь. Это рассказать вам о том, напомнить о том, что есть страховка от этих всех историй. Потому что, атака рано или поздно кончится, и нужно будет все равно думать о мирной жизни и о том, где жить, и какая крыша будет над головой, и будут ли на это деньги. И это серьезные вещи, и я вас призываю об этом тоже думать.
Wow. Also, thank you to YouTube. This stream is one of the YouTube featured streams this morning. So thank you very much to YouTube, and hello to Towel Girlfriend. How are you doing out there? You're wonderful. I don't speak Russian, so I can't translate all of that for you, but I will tell you that is St. Petersburg. I know enough to tell you that is St. Petersburg this morning in the lead up to President Putin's major speech that he did not get permission for from President Zelensky of Ukraine. Scheduled, I don't know if this speech is going to occur. You can't really put the president of Russia in a building where Ukraine can bomb it in the middle of the speech. You can't, because they could attack the building during the speech. He may have to cancel. If he gives that speech, he's got, he's lost his mind. Zelensky's completely gotten in his head. Yep, exactly. So Putin doesn't have a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to fire some of those missiles that he has. Putin will inevitably lash out because of this, because he's going to feel Zelensky humiliated him. And then Putin will attack Kiev. And then, mind you, Putin attacked Kiev last night. I'll show you some of the footage. Zelensky will then attack, but Russia in response. But remember, Zelensky can hit St. Petersburg. He can hit Kaliningrad, which is... what is it called? Is that what it's called now? Kaliningrad? I don't think it's called Kaliningrad anymore. It might have a new name. It's an exclave oblast. It might be Kaliningrad, actually. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's called Kaliningrad. It used to be called Königsberg. It's where Kant actually was a Privandant in the 1700s. But anyway, it's an exclave oblast now. It's very far from Ukraine, but it can be attacked by Ukraine. It's been hit before. It's like a crucial oil export port. What Ukraine does is Russia strikes like civilian buildings. They just like to terrorize Ukraine. And then Ukraine, and as evidence of that, Russia will fire ballistic missiles that are only really for nuclear weapons with just cement on the end instead of the nuclear weapon, just to make a point. It's horrifying. But anyway, Ukraine has drones and these missiles called Flamingos. They're pretty cool. They're German tech, I think. I don't remember the exact origin of them. But anyway, they fire them deep into Russian territory. They can hit Moscow. They can hit St. Petersburg. They can hit Kaliningrad. They can hit wherever they want, basically. But they don't hit civilians. They have, but they don't. What they do is Ukraine has a different type of warfare than Russia. Ukraine doesn't like to terrorize. It likes to tactically decimate Russia's LNG, liquefied natural gas, and oil exports by hitting their oil ports and specifically their like production facilities. So Russia's oil export production capacity has dropped 40% since the start of the war, and in particular, its drop has been expedited over recent months due to Zelensky's like precision targeting of these oil export facilities. Russia relies on liquefied natural gas exports, which Europe used to use to heat itself during the long winters until mostly Germany was dependent on it. But then because of a bunch of like sabotages of pipelines, it's unclear who did it, and because of like just shifting geopolitical alliances, Europe like diversified its dependence on Russian LNG to heat itself during the winter, which opened the door for Ukraine to decimate Russian export production capabilities, and that drives Putin up the wall because that makes it harder for him to launch the missiles because his domestic economy is suffering and it costs a lot of money to fire missiles. In short, there's a war of attrition. Russia started it, Ukraine's gonna finish it. Nobody conquers Russia, by the way. You don't go in there and take land. It's just a war of attrition. Well, Reno, the benefit of being America is I'm allowed my perspective. If you'd like to offer a contrary Russian perspective, of course, I will listen to it. But yeah, there's 180 countries here. I'm from America. I don't particularly approve of the way Russia has been approaching the war in Ukraine. I just don't. So that's my personal right as an opinion journalist to say that. However, if you want me to report the facts, I'll show you the shelling on Ukraine. I'll show you the shelling on Russia, or I should say raids. And then you and I can determine who's hitting what targets and whether or not my analysis is correct. But yes, I'm not going to tell you you can't have your perspective. Of course, the Russian perspective is welcome. You're going to have to back it up with facts and primary sources, but yeah, I'm not going to tell you you don't have a right to your perspective. It is America. That's where I broadcast from. I want to show you an Iranian report, though, if you all wouldn't mind. This is how the Iranian news overnight reported the developments. I captioned it by hand for you. Well, I had to do the captions with translation, but then I put them on the video by hand. So here is the Iranian readout last night of the developments. It's in Persian, translated to English. Yes, Reno, I can't help it. I was born American, and I'll die American. And as much as I do my best to be an objective Tower reporter, I'm an American. So you're going to hear a very much world sort of perspective here, but it's certainly informed, and I will never deny it, by the fact that I am an American. So let's take a listen to this. But I'm also, I don't know, I'm a Rawlsian, I suppose, so I believe in overlapping pluralistic consensus. So as long as you have a reasonable perspective and you abide by like my rules of decorum and don't use personalities and all that, your perspective's welcome. Maybe you'll win me over on some points, maybe I'll win you over on some points, and that's the purpose of constructive discourse.
Absolutely.
Yes, well, Reno, listen, I understand that may be your perspective, but realpolitik is a zero-sum equation, and it's true, you either win or you don't, and the war either resolves or it doesn't. Russia kind of set the terms of winning a little bit, much like America, a little bit beyond their tactical ability to accomplish, and Ukraine ended up with a lot of money from the Middle East and just more influence than it had before. It's kind of like Ukraine and Iran are similar in that regard. They both were attacked and both came out out stronger for it. So I don't really know what you mean by win. Like, will the deaths stop? I hope. Will the conscription stop? I hope, on both sides. That would be a win. But, like, will you take territory beyond maybe a narrow gap to the Black Sea in honor of Catherine the Great? I don't think so. Will you lose any territory? Probably not. Are you going to get Transnistria and Moldova? No chance. You're going to keep your influence in Belarus. You know, so I don't know. Are you going to break up the European Union? No. So what does a win mean? We can debate this. I'd love to have you on to discuss.
منتشر شده خب بیشترش مربوط به کشور کویت میشه. اصابتی که به اونجا گزارش شده. برخی از تصاویر هم مربوط میشه به کشور بحرین. عموما تصاویری که داره توی رسانه ها و فضای مجازی میچرخه مربوط به این دو منطقه هست. حالا مشخصا محل ناوگان پنجم دریایی دشمن آمریکایی در بحرین در منطقه جفیر بحرین قرار داره. تصاویر مختلفی هم منتشر شده. یه تصویری هم خیلی داره توی شبکه‌های اجتماعی میچرخه که موشک پاتریوت دشمن آمریکایی در منطقه کویت، در کشور کویت نتونسته رهگیری درست رو انجام بده و برمیگرده و دقیقاً اصابت میکنه.
اون تصویر هم آقای حسن عظیمزاده عزیز داشتیم ما، فکر کنم
بله.
اگر دوستان لطف کنن یه بار دیگه اونو پخش کنن.
بله اون تصویرم جزو تصاویری هست که شبکه خبر داره پخش میکنه. حالا پایگاه توی اطلاعیه سپاه که مشخصا نام برده از مقر نام.
من همینجا یه عذرخواهی میکنم آقای عظیمزاده، یعنی در پاسخی که سپاه پاسداران به اینها داده اونها خواستن موشک‌های سپاه رو رهگیری کنن و نتونستن.
نه موفق نبوده. تصویر میگم کاملا واضحه، نشون میده که موشک پاتریوت بلند میشه، نمیتونه رهگیری موفق انجام بده و دقیقاً در کشور کویت اصابت میکنه. از این نوع خب توی جنگ رمضان خیلی زیاد داشتیم که موشک‌های خود آمریکایی ها موفق به رهگیری نمیشد. مناطق مسکونی رو حتی در برخی از کشورهای منطقه مورد اصابت قرار میداد. این تصاویر خیلی زیاد دیده شده. اما درباره سایر ادعاهایی که رسانه‌های منطقه دارن مطرح میکنن، حالا کشورهای مختلف من جمله حالا جاهای مختلف توی امارات رو اسم بردن. توی امارات خیلی جاها رو گفتن، منهاد رو گفتن، از زفره رو گفتن، اطراف دبی رو گفتن، ابوظبی رو گفتن. فعلا تصویر اونچنانی حداقل تا این لحظه که من دارم با شما صحبت میکنم تصویر خاصی که نشون بده اتفاقی اونجا افتاده نبوده. توی شرق عربستان هم همینطور از اونجا ما جاهای مختلف که گفته میشه باز هم تصویر خاصی منتشر نشده هنوز به اون شکل. اما یه نکته رو بگم، ببینید موقعی که امریکایی ها نمیتونند عملیاتی رو موفق انجام بدن، مثلا رهگیری موشک ها و پهپاد های کشورمون به سمت حالا دو هدف مشخص که توی اطلاعیه سپاه بوده، پایگاه مقر ناوگان پنجم دریایی دشمن آمریکایی در جفیر امارات و همچنین پایگاه بالگردی که حالا حد زده میشه توسط برخی از رسانه‌ها که پایگاه العدیری باشه، بزرگترین پایگاه بالگردی دشمن آمریکایی در کویت. اینو میگم حد برخی از رسانه‌ها. این باعث میشه که اینها سعی بکنن یه موجی رو راه بندازن که آره اهداف خیلی زیادتری بوده، خیلی بیشتری بوده. ما مثلا رهگیری کردیم، اما چیزی که سنتکام تا الان منتشر کرده ادعاش
این سانسور تصویری از اول جنگ ما داشتیم آقای عظیمزاده. این
بله، اما تصاویری که الان ما داریم میبینیم هم توش اصابت هست، هم صدای انفجارها هست که به هم توی بحرین و هم در
Notice the switch in Iranian state TV almost overnight. I translate a lot of this if you watch this program. Good morning, Barcodes. How are you doing, sir? Good day to you as well. God bless you. Have you noticed, folks, this change? Are you listening? Are you reading the captions? Previously on Iranian state TV, it was a lot of opinion, a lot of like formal military commanders kind of in face masks giving statements. This is after Ayatollah Khamenei's statement through his representative at the Supreme National Council on one of the IRGC television networks, I forget which one it was either IRNA or IRIB yesterday. 24 hours later, now you have Iranian state TV doing live real-time coverage of the attacks on Bahrain, Kuwait, and otherwise. We've never seen this before. This is a diametric shift. This is a drastic change in how Iranian state TV does live coverage. And you're watching it. This is the first time. This was a couple hours ago. I've never seen them do this before.
اما درباره عراق همین نکته رو بگم. چیزی که رسانه‌های عراقی تا به این لحظه منتشر کردن دره آلان در منطقه اربیل هست و همچنین صدای انفجارهایی هم که اومده در سورداشت در سلیمانیه، جایی که مقر حالا گروهک‌های معاند و تجزیه طلب پیشتر هم در اونجا مورد اصابت قرار گرفته بوده. گزارش‌هایی هم داریم که چند صدای انفجار در پایگاه الحریر، پایگاه امریکایی‌ها در منطقه اربیل، تقریبا میشه گفت فاصله 70 کیلومتری از شمال اربیل هم شنیده شده. نسبت به اینها میگم هنوز تصویر خاصی منتشر نشده. قامشلی در سوریه هم باز جزء خبرها بوده. اونجا هم خب یکی از پایگاه‌های معروف آمریکایی هاست توی شمال سوریه که
Are you reading what they're saying? They're saying they hit almost all of our bases. Are you kidding me? They hit Syria, they hit Iraq, they hit Kuwait, they hit Bahrain, they hit Saudi, they hit UAE, and we're just they hit us. And they hit us. They struck. Listen to what this man is saying. Oh my goodness. They hit us. And we're just ignoring it. We're asleep at the wheel and we're afraid to respond. They called Trump out on his tacoing. Oh goodness. My jaw is on the floor right now. This is worse than it looks. Hello, Miss Clutch. I agree. Hello, Towel Girlfriend. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. They're blacking out some of the damage in the Western press. I mean, I guess I am the Western press right now. This is very bad. We were slaughtered last night. Oh, is that a golden goat? Oh my goodness. It's a golden goat. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the golden goat. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that golden goat. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I just want to say thank you for a minute to Jason Jones for that wonderful golden goat. It was dancing in the chat. That's a really cool YouTube feature that they just added. You can make golden goats dance above my head. So thank you to Jason Jones for that wonderful golden goat. I needed those jewels this morning. But are you listening to what this man is saying? My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Good to see you all. Coming past 6:12 a.m. here in Boston, U.S. wartime. We've been attacked. All of our bases, I don't want to say all of them. The ones in, according to this man, they hit or their Iran or their proxies hit our bases in Syria, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. And we've done nothing. It is just coming past 6:13 a.m., as I mentioned, U.S. wartime here in Boston. That makes it 12:13 p.m. in South Africa. Hello, Towel Girlfriend. 1:13 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and 1:43 p.m. in Tehran, Iran, Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026.
منطقه قامشلی در سوریه پایگاه به قولی میشه گفت مهمترین پایگاه هواییشون توی شمال سوریه و همچنین پوشش دهنده منطقه فیشخابور توی مثلث مرزی ترکیه، سوریه و عراق وجود داره و
سوریه هم شما خبرشو دارین دیگه. سوریه هم تایید شده دیگه. اینا همزمان انجام شده.
بله. منطقه فیشخابور میگفتن قامشلی از فیشخابور داره به قولی پشتیبانی میکنه. فیشخابور
They tried to get your wonderful towel. You can't stop towel. No, I just have satellite internet, so sometimes it goes down for a few seconds. Hello, I'm back. You can't stop towel. I'm a towel. We're gonna resume right where we were in our Iranian broadcast. Hello, we're back. Let's continue.
ترکیه
Captions, please.
سوریه و عراق قرار داره، جایی که عمده تدارکات نظامی زمینی امریکا.
Give me 1 second to reload the captions for you. Hello, how are you all doing? We're back. That was a dropped frame issue. If you ever get a dropped frame issue, I assure you will come right back after about 6 seconds. Let's pick right where we were.
منطقه فیشخابور میگفتن قامشلی از فیشخابور داره به قولی پشتیبانی میکنه. فیشخابور توی مثلث مرزی ترکیه، سوریه و عراق قرار داره، جایی که عمده تدارکات نظامی زمینی امریکایی ها که میخواد بین پایگاه هاشون در عراق و سوریه جابجا بشه از اون منطقه صورت میگیره و عمده تدارکاتشون هم از همون قامشلی یعنی به سمت عراق و یا بالعکس به سمت سوریه میره. شنیده شدن حالا صدای این انفجارها و این خبرهایی که توی فضای مجازی پیچیده کنارش اطلاعیه سپاه یه نکته خیلی مهم رو نشون میده، اینی که در این مدت بعد از آتش بس یا حالا به نوعی توقف درگیری ها نیروهای مسلح کشور ما رد خودشون رو تو منطقه به شکل کامل انجام میدن. یه نکته دیگه هم در مورد کشتی هایی بگم که حالا مورد اصابت قرار میگیرن. ببینید سپاه پاسداران انقلاب اسلامی منابع اطلاعاتی خودش رو تکمیل کرده، کشتی هایی که در داخل خلیج فارس هستن رو دقیقاً شناسایی کرده، مربوط به کدام کشورها هستن، کدام شرکت ها هستن و ما به ازای هدف قرار دادن هر کدوم از کشتی های جمهوری اسلامی. پیشتر هم خب شاهد بودیم که کانتینر بری رو مورد اصابت قرار دادن در پاسخ یکی از کشتی هامون. ما به ازاش هست مشخص شده و این که بانک اهداف به شکل کامل وجود داره و این دست ماشه بودن که حالا بارها توسط فرماندهان ما تکرار شده و همچنین توی بیانیه‌ها و اطلاعات مختلف اومده، ما به عینه میبینیم، به لحظه صورت میگیره و هیچ تردیدی توی هدف قرار دادن این پایگاه نیست. یه نکته دیگه هم بگم، امریکایی ها توی این مدت آتش بس اونها هم بیکار نبودن، سعی کردن محل‌های مختلفی رو یعنی پایگاه‌های مختلفشون توی منطقه رو تجهیز بکنن. این مقر ناوگان پنجم دریایی یکی از جاهایی بوده که خب برای آمریکایی‌ها
یعنی تجهیز شده بود،
خیلی راهبردیه براشون. ببینید پایگاه دریایی مهمشون که هم تعمیرات.
Oh, they declared war again. Are you kidding me? He's saying that they basically noticed we were preparing the same bases we used the last time and they struck them. This was exactly how the war started. Exactly. They struck first this time.
هم تجهیز و هم
We got caught on our heels. Look, we're still on our heels. Oh my word. They were like, they really did say bring it. Wow.
نگهداریه. خیلی از ناوشکن‌هاشون در اونجا صورت میگیره و براشون خیلی مهم بود که سریعتر بازسازی بشه و برای بازسازیش هم اقداماتی رو هم انجام دادن. اما این هدف قرار دادن نشون میده که هم ما اونجا اشراف داریم و مطمئن باشید این هدف قرار دادن هم یعنی بانک اهدافی که مشخص شده مربوط میشه به جاهایی که امریکایی ها بیشترین تمرکز رو برای بازسازیش داشتن، دقیقاً همونجا هم مورد اصابت قرار میگیره. همین درباره اون پایگاه بالگردی که حالا میگم برخی از رسانه ها دارن روی العدری کویت انگشت میزنن، در مورد اونجا هم صدق میکنه.
همه اینها پایگاه هایی بودن که به تازگی بازسازی شده یا داشته میشده دیگه.
بله. چیزی که باز هم توی رسانه‌های مختلف منتشر شده بود توی روزهای گذشته و توی هفته‌های گذشته، مسیر حرکت هواپیماهای ترابری دشمن امریکایی توی منطقه بود که نشون میداد چه پایگاه‌هایی رو اونها بیشتر بهش تردد داشتن. مطمئناً این هم توسط نیروهای مسلح کشور ما دقیقاً رصد شده و رصد میشه، به آن و به لحظه داره رصد میشه و نسبت به همون دارن تصمیم میگیرن که اگر دشمن امریکایی اگر بخواد اشتباه و خطایی رو مرتکب بشه کجا رو مورد اصابت قرار بده. من در مورد گروهک‌های تجزیه
I agree, Tower Girlfriend. You nailed it. The longer Mr. President Trump does not respond, the more it looks like America does not have the goods to do it.
توی شمال عراق هم این نکته رو اضافه بکنم. ببینید در کنار اینکه خود نیروهای مسلح ما دارن رصد میکنن، در داخل عراق هم گروه‌های مقاومت عراقی هم این کار رو انجام میدن. برخی از این انفجارها و اینهایی هم که میشنویم در اون منطقه، این هم باز برخی از رسانه ها ممکن اصلا از سوی گروه‌های مقاومت عراقی در داخل خود عراق باشه و از اونجا صورت بگیره. به هر حال اون سمت هم باز همین رصدی رو که گفتم داره اونجا هم صورت میگیره. امریکایی ها خب ادعا و همچنین اعتراف خود ترامپ این بود که مقادیر زیادی اسلحه و مهمات در اختیار گروهک‌های تجزیه طلب گذاشته شده بود که به داخل ایران بیاد و عملیات‌های متعدد نیروهای مسلح کشور ما و گروه‌های مقاومت عراقی مانع این اتفاق شده و مطمئناً اون بخش هم بیش از گذشته مورد رصد قرار میگیره، همینطور که سازمان اطلاعات سپاه و وزارت اطلاعات این رصد رو دقیقاً توی استان‌های غربی کشور ما دارن انجام میدن و اهدافی.
Oh yeah, this is bad. So I think you just heard it from the primary source there in Iran. That's the IRGC's affiliated network, translated into English. Yeah, they've attacked us. We're on the brink of a very, very drastic escalation and return to war here. I don't know what to tell you. We got caught sleeping. This is one of the most embarrassing mornings for the American apparatus I've ever seen. We literally, they must have intelligence that our leadership is just not ready. They called us on our bluff. I don't know if it was a bluff. They were like, no more BS. We're done with this. And now what if President Trump doesn't respond? He's just handed the Middle East to Iran. Notice they didn't attack Israel either. They attacked the bases that were easier for them to hit with their older missiles. And also they're saying, go ahead and attack us. They didn't give Israel a reason to attack, so it's straight up on America. They attacked America specifically. Our bases in Bahrain. You want to see what the Kuwait airport... In case you're wondering, do we have to respond? I don't think it's an option, folks. Let me just show you what the Kuwaiti airport looks like right now. They can't stop these fires. Look at the Kuwait airport. It is burning down. I told you it was burning down. Here's footage from outside. The damn thing is ablaze. They can't put the fires out. The airport is gone. They have burned down the Kuwaiti airport. I'm not reporting it now. I'm showing you a primary source right now on the ground. 20 minutes ago, they burned down the Kuwaiti airport. It's burning down. They can't put the fires out. It's not just attack. They burned the airport down. What do you want me to say? We've lost our security blanket. We've lost our deterrence. They're flexing on us. They burned the airport down in Kuwait and said, what are you going to do about it? Yes, obviously, Silent Dogs. They're a fake country, so they don't need an airport. I'm being tongue-in-cheek. Silent Dogs has a refrain of every country is a fake country, basically. We haven't figured out what is a real country yet, but, you know, it's clearly a fake airport. It was a fake drone. This is not real. I'm being facetious. This is sardonic or morbid, one may say. This is absolutely real. You're looking at footage on the ground right now where the Kuwaiti airport is not just hit. Iran didn't just hit it. They burned it down. It's still burning right now. You're looking at it. They burned the freaking airport down. Oh my goodness. I have a very bad feeling in my chest. This is not good. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, His Airness, I don't think we just got surprise attacked and did nothing. All of our strategic assets just got attacked. I don't think the US military took as bad hits as the Kuwaiti airport took. I pray they didn't, but we just got surprise attacked. They basically Pearl Harbored us because we were BSing them during negotiations. So they Pearl Harbored us and we have done nothing. Are you kidding me? This is how is this what happened? They didn't hit Israel. It was tactical, Star Child. They didn't hit Israel. They only hit American bases in the Kuwaiti airport. According to what I'm reading in the videos I'm seeing, they did. Well, I know they didn't hit Israel because I monitor the alerts. They only hit American assets and the Kuwait. They didn't just hit the Kuwaiti airport. I'll show you some more videos. They burned the airport down. It's still burning right now. They can't stop the fires. The airport is burning down. Oh, I see, Star Child. Yeah, but the problem is, regardless, to respond to Paul, my dear friend, regardless of the geopolitical reality of who's running what country, do they have majority support, are they a puppet, you still can't If you do nothing, were the bases manned? Hello, Lexi. Yes, not only were they manned, these were our forward bases. These were the bases where we stage a majority of our assets for attacks on Iran. The U.S. Naval 5th Fleet base in Bahrain, the base in Ali al-Saad, I don't know the exact name. It's in Kuwait. It's an air base. It's one of our main air bases. And then they also shelled, I don't have confirmation because there's no videos. It's very hard to get video out of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was apparently attacked, but I don't have confirmation of that. And I don't have confirmation about an attack near the UAE. The only things I can confirm to you with primary sources, and they were intense attacks, were on Kuwait, specifically the air base and the airport. As you can see, the airport in Kuwait is gone. It's burning down. And then Bahrain, where the U.S. Naval 5th Fleet was hit. I don't know how intensely it was hit. I don't have video on the ground from that area, but I can tell you it was hit. We were surprised. Although it will not be fully staffed with people, that's where our assets are to deploy for the strategic attacks. They go from Ben Gurion to those places, and they go touch and go, and then they go into Iran. That's why Iran hits those places, because that's where we store our primary forward-facing assets in the region. We store a lot of them at Ben Gurion in Tel Aviv, which Iran will also hit if we escalate. But our staging area are those two bases. That's how I know they're invited. They just attacked us. They said, what are you going to do about it? They're ready. This is the end of the nonsense. They didn't like what we were doing in the negotiations. They basically flipped us the middle finger. They're battle hardened. They told all their people to prepare, and they attacked us first. I told you that was going to happen. I mean, anyone who was reasonably analyzing this could have told you that's exactly what they were going to do. They were using all this time to battle harden, which means digging out. The way their missiles work is you don't hit their missile facilities. You hit the tunnels for the missiles to go out, and they have a lot of tunnels. So they just dig out the tunnels. They fix the airlocks. Then that's what rebuilding capacity means. You never took out their missiles. You only took out the launch tunnels. They redigged the launch tunnels. They built some new ones. They took all this time. I bet they waited until the last moment where every shelter was hardened. They probably built new shelters. They had 60 days. We gave them way too much time. And then they attacked first. Shocking, right? Shocking. Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion. Got it. Thank you. My phonetic pronunciation needs some help sometimes. That's why you're wonderful, Silent Dog and Silent Dogs and Star Chat. So yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know how else to give. I'm giving it to you straight. They surprised attacked us. They did not attack Israel. I want to be very clear. They surprised attacked us overnight while half the country and apparently the leadership was sleeping. They caught us flat-footed, and they said, what are you going to do? You can't. This is different, by the way, than the attacks on UAE that were occurring. UAE is very close to the Strait of Hormuz. This is different. This was a wide-scale, massive, disproportionate retaliation. It was not it was under the guise of a retaliation for the attack on Qasem Island last night, but this was not that. In realpolitik terms, this was a massive attack on U.S. bases. It's very bad. It's a very bad situation. There are only two paths forward, okay? It's a binary option at this point. Either the United States responds or the United States does not. It's one of those few 50-50 equations here. There is no alternative. There is no other option. There either is a response or no response. They each have their own consequences. A response invites a Thucydides escalation trap. A non-response invites first of all, complete and total victory for Iran. Humiliation. This is worse than Vietnam. Vietnam wasn't bombing other countries. I mean, the Viet Cong was not really bombing other countries. So, this is bad. There's no way out. They put us in a corner and said, make your choice. I know. They've put us in a corner. We have no choice. We have to make. They forced our hand. Mr. President Trump is so weak right now. This is embarrassing. I knew this was coming too. I think what frustrates me is I knew this was coming. Well, that's what I mean. Both Pulsar and Silent Dogs are right. That's one of the possible options. There are only two options. Do nothing and retreat, or attack. Those are the options. It's a zero-sum equation. One of those two things will happen. There will be there's no no mediated course. You don't say back to this, yes, where is the president? Where is the Department of Defense? Where is the U.S. government? Are they sleeping? You can't just sleep. The world happens like this. They know. Iran totally profiled us. They profiled the U.S. leadership. That, listen, the biggest hint that this was psychological, they knew exactly what they were doing, was they didn't hit Israel. They hit the U.S. because they knew we would be sleeping. And literally, I don't mean literally in bed, although most of the country was in bed. We were caught flat-footed. Good morning, allegedly B. Yeah, coffee's going to be needed this morning. We're cornered. They cornered us. And then they Pearl Harbored us. Security theater has taken on a whole new meaning, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I'm almost lost for words. I don't know what to tell you about this. I don't know what to do. There's supposed to be a government of this country. We're supposed to be the strongest military in the world. They're just sleeping. Nothing. Lexi, the only thing CENTCOM said was like one desperate statement about the intercepts in Kuwait. We got hit. They Pearl Harbored us. I'm sorry. There's no other way to describe this. We got hit flat-footed. You can't intercept a hypersonic missile anyway. Maybe with a Patriot. It's the leadership of America that's driving this. Iran was clearly telegraphing they were going to do this, and they did it. It's a tactically brilliant move. Because the conventional wisdom would have been to strike Israel. They totally pulled a little swerve. Because the conventional wisdom over the past week would be that Iran was going to strike Israel to punish them for striking in southern Lebanon. Nope. They were preparing to strike all of the U.S. assets and the Kuwaiti airport as a Pearl Harbor. It's more complex than legal proceedings. The gamesmanship. It's so smart. I mean, I called it. I just want to tell you, I knew this was coming. I could have told you this was coming. I read everything the Iranians put out, and I listen and translate Iranian television, so I know how they're thinking. Why were we caught? Why has there been no response? Why am I sitting here at 6:30 in the morning, 4 hours after this has happened, and there's no response? I have a doctor's appointment this morning in a few hours. I will take at least an hour off to recompose myself in a few hours, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to yell if there's been no response. They hit us so freaking hard. And the scariest part, it's not that they hit us. I was expecting, I think everyone was expecting there to be a collapse of the talks over Lebanon or otherwise, or the Strait of Hormuz or otherwise. It's that they hit us and nothing happened in response. They're sitting there like, we got him. And frankly, they did. Let me keep updating you now. We have more updates to do. As I sit here, there's not going to be a response, I don't think. There has to be, frankly, though. There has to be. I'm sorry, you can't just do nothing. Let me show you more footage from Kuwait last night of one of the Iranian Shahed drones over Kuwait. Hello, Serobik. I would be happy to get you the name of that song. It's called Gush Bandan. Let me see if I can just get it for you. I have the link here. Hold on. Gush something. I'll get it for you. Gush. It's the only thing. Gush Bifarman, maybe? Yes, Gush Bifarman by Arbzul Rouhani. Okay, so I have the link for you right here. Sarah Boutique, how's it spelled? Arrow Boutique, even better. There you go, my dear friend. I hope you find that link helpful. Yeah, we did hit Keshem Island, His Airness, but we had been doing that a little bit, and the Iranians were mostly just striking back in the area, ships, UAE, etc. They did not do this. Overnight, they escalated intensely. This is last night over Kuwait. That's an Iranian Shaheed. Now you can see here from the Kuwait Civil Aviation Administration, they suspended all air traffic and flights out of Kuwait as a result of what I'm going to show you in a second. Here's more footage from St. Petersburg this morning, where a big conference is taking place with President Putin as the city gets attacked by Ukraine.
Там прям много. Двое летят.
My pleasure. God bless you and God bless the people of Germany. Hello to you, and I'm so glad I was able to find that song for you, my dear friend. This was the Ukrainian strike on St. Petersburg this morning. You just saw the drone hit. There's the explosion. This is conference attendees at the St. Petersburg International Economic Conference waking up this morning, getting ready to see President Putin speak and watching this happen.
Ух, ебать!
Сняла? Да.
Охуеть!
А второй вон летит. Это один, видимо, приземлится, а второй вон там и летит.
Ёб твою мать!
Ну, блядь, это следовало ожидать, если это действительно...
Подожди, сейчас сниму один!
2 года назад здесь летал около дома.
Yeah, I would not exactly say that the people who have done sneak attacks on America have been pleased with the results. Now, this morning, Israel issued evacuation warnings for Arzi in Sidon, South Lebanon, Marzarat, Kawi al-Riz, and al-Zaraya in South Lebanon. Oh, thank you so much for that thumbs up, Two Bear. God bless you. I love those jewels. They do keep me going. Let me take you to a statement from President Zelensky released this morning regarding the ongoing shelling of St. Petersburg by the Ukrainians. Go ahead, British reporter towel.
Conversation. Are long-range sanctions carried out by the warriors of the Security Service of Ukraine, the Unmanned Systems Forces, the Special Operations Forces, the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, and the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine have yielded good results. Important facilities on Russian territory were hit last night. Among them was the Petersburg oil terminal. The distance from Ukraine's state border to this facility of Russia's oil industry, which serves the war, is about 1,100 kilometers. Purely military targets at the Kronstadt base were also hit. Another target was an enterprise in the Tambov region involved in the production of Russian weapons. The distance from the front line is almost 600 kilometers. I thank our warriors for their precision. Ukraine's plan for long-range sanctions is being implemented exactly as needed to bring peace closer. Glory to Ukraine. There are good results from our long-range sanctions carried out by the warriors of the SBU, SBS, SSO, UR, and DPSU.
Let's take a look at the footage posted by President Zelensky of Ukraine. St. Petersburg was called Leningrad during the Stalin era. Oh, thank you so much, Marcia, for your kind words. Hello, BB Egan. Good to see you. God bless you, my friend. I'm glad to be able to provide this information. I hope you're doing well. Yes, it's been a tough night across the world, but we have been attacked. If you're just tuning in, America was Pearl Harbored. They attacked our bases in Bahrain, the Iranians. This is St. Petersburg this morning. This was posted by the president of Ukraine, but if you're just tuning in, we have been attacked. Oh, Towel Girlfriend, I hope you had a wonderful lunch. I absolutely adore you. I can't wait to hang out with you later. You are wonderful. God bless you. You're wonderful. You just make every day such a joy, even among the intensity. And it's wonderful, sweet towel vibes to you throughout the rest of your day. Thank you for being with us this morning. You're wonderful. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Thank you all for tuning in. I will get you updated and up to speed if you're just tuning in. There is chaos. Chaos has reigned. I will show you the Kuwaiti airport first, ladies and gentlemen. Then I will show you the internals of the Kuwaiti airport. Then I'll show you outside the Kuwaiti airport. To say that things are intense is an understatement. In fact, the Kuwaiti airport is burning down. I do not say that is perhaps an understatement to explain the state of the damage at the Kuwaiti airport this morning. So let me show you first footage from inside the Kuwaiti airport. All right. This is inside the airport of Kuwait this morning. This was probably a few hours ago now, but the fires are still burning. BB Egan, I'll show you the footage. From my understanding, the U.S. 5th Naval Fleet headquarters in Bahrain was hit. The U.S. Air Base in Kuwait was hit. Kuwait's international airport, as you can see, is a ball of flames and completely destroyed. All flights have been suspended. I also understand that targets in Saudi Arabia belonging to the U.S. were also hit, but I cannot confirm that with primary source footage. I also understand that a base in Syria belonging to the U.S. was hit, along with bases in Erbil, Iraq. Good morning, Fear 3 Norm. How are you doing, my dear friend? This is the Kuwait airport this morning. It is destroyed. The Iranians have struck.
هذا الحريق هذه مسيرة طاحت هني فوق أمل الكويت هذه.
You are looking at scenes from the airport in Kuwait this morning, which is destroyed. I repeat, it is destroyed. Oh, BB Egan has started a membership parade. Allow me to pause and say thank you. If your name is Starchild, His Airness, Lex Yvonne, Victoria Morrison, or D80HI, you have just unlocked very special towel emojis. I don't mean to pause and interrupt, but I have to say thank you to BB Egan for that wonderful gift to your fellow towel friends. If you just heard your name called, you now have unlocked special towel emojis thanks to the one and only BB Egan. God bless you for that, BB Egan, and I hope you all enjoy your goat emojis, your towel-based emojis, your various dog-based emojis. They're very fun. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, BB Egan. God bless you.
هذا الحريق هذه مسيرة طاحت هني فوق أمل الكويت هذه.
Yes, if you are just tuning in, the Kuwait airport, that is the Kuwait airport, that was the Kuwait airport. It has been attacked. This is just one wing of the airport. The airport itself, hours later, I want to show you scenes from outside. The airport itself is burning right now. They cannot contain the fires. The airport is burning down. We've lost the Kuwait airport. They can't clean up the mess, unfortunately, Silent Dogs, because the airport, they couldn't control the fire. It spread, and now the whole building is burning down. I repeat, we've lost the Kuwaiti airport. If you're just waking up this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we have lost the Kuwaiti airport. It was a good airport. It was a nice airport. It served the people of Kuwait well. It's gone. There might be some parts of it left after this conflagration settles, but we've lost the airport. The Iranians Pearl Harbored us. And then for good measure, they took out the Kuwaiti airport. Not really sure why they did that. I think they were just mad. I don't really have an explanation. I think, so, you know, Iran kind of said if we bombed them one more time, they were going to disproportionately respond. Well, you know. They took out the Kuwaiti airport, set it on fire, and now it's gone. Miss Clutch, can I see the statement that the airport is reopened? I will I will report that, but I just want to let you know this footage was posted maybe 45 minutes ago. So they might have reopened a wing of the airport, but that wing, that civilian passenger terminal, has suffered extensive damage. But if it has reopened, please do link the statement from the Kuwaiti Civil Aviation Authority. The last that I saw, all flights in and out of Kuwait were suspended. And again, I only have footage coming in, from the ground, so I can't tell you which wing of the airport this is. I've never been to the Kuwaiti airport, but I can tell you that fire that started inside the terminal that I showed you primary source footage of has indeed spread. Maybe it was contained recently, but it spread to the point where it was burning through at least, I'd say, a good, that looks like about 100 meters of the facility, just uncontrolled. So yes, but I will look at any statements issued by the Kuwaiti Civil Aviation Administration Authority, of course. It will probably be in Arabic, but we can translate it to English. Let me take you now to southern Lebanon. I'll also show you the attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain overnight that were away from the airport, the attacks on the U.S. bases in 1 second. This is the scene from right now in Sidon. This is Al Qariab in South Lebanon just under an hour ago, 43 minutes. Hello, water under the fridge. Good morning, my friend. I'm gonna put the sound warning on, but just so you know, Israel has attacked again in massive waves across southern Lebanon. This follows the Iranian attacks across Bahrain and Kuwait and potentially Saudi Arabia, but I can't confirm that because I haven't seen any primary source videos. It was quite a night. I'm gonna play this. This is within the last 45 minutes in Sidon in southern Lebanon. It is loud. All right, good morning. If you're just tuning in, hello, Marcia, my dear friend. Hello, His Airness. God bless both of you. If you're just tuning in, let me show you the primary source footage of what happened overnight. Okay, this all occurred while people were sleeping in the United States, but I will show you the footage from the ground. There was a number, what happened to spark this was an American attack on a communication tower in Keshem Island in the south of Iran. In response, Iran I can only describe this as Iran fulfilling its promise to engage in a disproportionate response if they were attacked again. They launched a surprise attack across Bahrain, across Kuwait, and as I mentioned, potentially in Saudi Arabia, but I cannot confirm that. So first, let me show you the footage coming out of Bahrain this evening, last night. Let me start with Kuwait, actually, and then let's go to Bahrain. So this is what Kuwait was like overnight, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, this was Kuwait overnight. Kuwait was attacked. Back. Hello, frame drop. Sorry, there's a little turbulence flying air towel this morning. If you ever get a frame drop, it only goes for about 6 to 10 seconds. We'll be right back. If you're just tuning in, this was Kuwait overnight, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start the video from the beginning. Kuwait overnight. You got this, my dear friend Kim. I will be with you, my dear friend, in spirit throughout the day. God bless you. And you got this. Stay positive, and I know that you'll be able to make it happen. whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish, I pray that it will happen and that you will placate or at least resolve that situation. I'll show you more now from Kuwait. Here are the explosions from last night's attack by Iran following an American attack on Qashm Island.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. شوف it's fucking there.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Miss Clutch, thank you. So, I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. Miss Clutch, thank you. This is actually a summary of two statements. It's not that the airport is reopening, it's that they're diverting limited flights to other terminals following the temporary suspension of the airspace, or closure of the airspace. The other thing is, this does have an important update that I do want to follow up on. It has an update beyond just what the Kuwaiti Civil Administration Authority announced earlier. This also notes that, according to World Intel, Kuwaiti's, but I have not seen the foreign minister tweet this, I'll look for it in Arabic. Kuwaiti's foreign ministry has confirmed that one person was killed and several others were injured during a dawn strike this morning by Iranian ballistic missiles and drones. The attack targeted critical civilian infrastructure, heavily damaging Terminal 1 of Kuwait's international airport and striking multiple unnamed diplomatic missions. I'm going to guess that means the airbase, Ali Al Salam. Commercial flights at Kuwait's primary international hub were temporarily suspended, and inbound traffic was diverted due to severe structural damage. Highlighting the fluid nature of the situation, the Kuwaiti Civil Aviation Authority announced that limited operations are partially resuming from alternative terminals following field readiness checks. So the main terminal is down. It is burning. I can confirm that. Separate reports indicate that strikes also targeted vital fuel assets, sparking a major fire at fuel tanks managed by the Kuwait Aviation Fueling Company, KFACO. So, thank you very much for that follow-up. But yes, the actual civilian main terminal in Kuwait's airport has been destroyed. It wasn't just hit. These are some initial impacts from the areas that were not burning. It's actually burning to this minute, the main terminal. There may be alternative terminals. The airport has different wings, but the civilian terminal is not functional. Terminal 1 in Kuwait Airport is destroyed. This is the area that is not still on fire. There is an area that, at least as of the last hour or two, was on fire. But yeah, no, that airport was hit. It was struck. This part was on fire. They put it out. Another part is on fire that has not been put out. You're looking at the Kuwaiti airport this morning. I don't even know what to say. So here is the statement put out by the Kuwaiti Civil Aviation Authority 4 hours ago. I'll have British reporter Tal read it.
Conversation. Civil aviation, suspension of flights and a diversion to alternative airports until the completion of necessary procedures and confirmation of Kuwait International Airport's readiness to resume its operational activities. Technical teams have begun inspecting and assessing the damage inflicted on facilities and operational systems in preparation for their repair and rehabilitation.
So, a lot of fog of war right now, but just be aware there was a major series of attacks by the Iranians on U.S. bases and on the Kuwaiti airport overnight. I will show you right now some of the scenes from Kuwait. Here's some more footage from Kuwait overnight. No volume in this. It's unclear. One of those. Oh, wow. So that's what we saw. Look, that interceptor doesn't hit something. It just blows up. One of the interceptors just, maybe it hit something. Maybe it hit a drone. But that's a U.S. Kuwaiti interceptor, probably a U.S. interceptor. One of them explodes. I don't know what it hits. I can't really tell if it hit a drone. There's no sound, so I can't tell if there's like a drone buzzing. And then the other one keeps going. But that's that explosion we saw from the ground of all those pieces of an interceptor. The thing either self-destructs or hits something right there, and then it just shoots interceptor debris all over Kuwait. So this was a serious night. Let me show you a little bit more footage from Kuwait and Bahrain overnight. I have a piece of footage from Bahrain that shows as well so here's the attack on the Ali Salam Air Base in Kuwait. This is the attack on the Ali Salam Air Base in Kuwait. With that was the drone that went towards that area. I don't think we see a hit in this footage, but this is the drone that was heading towards the American base. All right, and then I also want to show you the sounds from Bahrain, where the U.S. 5th Naval Fleet is located. That was also attacked last night by Iran. Allow me to find that for you now. There was a lot of activity in a lot of regions. You know how we just saw that interceptor explode? Oh yes, that was that video. I want to show you another view from the ground of those sparks flying. That was the Shahid over Kuwait. Wow, this really was a busy morning. It was quite a busy morning indeed. Okay, let's see. Alright, here we go. So I have 3 pieces of footage here. The first one is, I believe, from... Oh, these are all from the 5th Fleet. So these are all from Bahrain last night. Okay, these are primary source clips from the attack. This is not Kuwait. This is a separate Iranian attack on the U.S. 5th Fleet Naval Headquarters in Bahrain overnight. Nothing from the White House, nothing from the U.S. administration at all as of now. CENTCOM said that there were intercepts in Kuwait. Nothing about Bahrain. This is from Bahrain primary source footage last night. The ceasefire in the Great Lakes is holding water under the fridge thanks to your vigilant oversight. I believe that, my friend. That was not an intercept. That's an Iranian missile. Watch it. Watch it go down. It goes into the sensor. Now watch for the explosion right here. Right here. Wait for the flash of light. Wait. Right there. Did you see that flash of light? Did you see it? That was a strike. That was not an intercept. That was a strike. See the flash of light? Now listen for the sound of the hit. That guy was very close. He was within probably half a mile of that hit. That was a strike on the U.S. 5th Fleet. That was an impact. No, for sure. That was an impact on the U.S. The U.S. 5th Naval Fleet's headquarters in Bahrain. So this is separate from the Kuwait attack. This is Bahrain last night. The drone that went over Bahrain again, and then one more piece of footage from Bahrain. I think these also have IRGC launches in the footage as well.
MashaAllah!
Well, that was the footage from Bahrain overnight. I think we are going to have quite a day. You got me for at least another hour or so, maybe a little bit more, and then I gotta go to the doctor's. But I will be back. Inevitably, something horrifying is going to happen. This is not an uneasy con. This is something is coming, and it's not going to be good. Alright, so I showed you the footage from Kuwait. I showed you the footage from Bahrain, if you're getting caught up. Let me show you one more piece of footage from Kuwait. This was an attack on the American base in Kuwait, not the airport. You're going to see the missile interceptors going up. You're going to see a car crash into a wall. It's a wild piece of footage. Then you're going to see more interceptors going up. This was Kuwait overnight.
طلع من هنا يا رب. شوفها صادها مسك سكان محمد مسك سكان. العن امه العن امه. اخ العيال اخ العيال اخ العيال. وقف رجال دعم وقف والله يلا. شو خذاني؟ شو خذاني؟ شو صار؟ شو خذاني؟ ابن شو ذول؟ ابن تشهد.
No, Marsha, I don't really see nuclear weapons being used in this conflict. I think it's more likely to be just conventional airstrikes, but the tight or ballistic missiles, but they can be intense missiles. Silent dogs, they're cars of peace, you know, they're just cars of peace. They're not doing anyone any harm. Let me show you more footage from the ground of that American interceptor in Kuwait just exploding very close to the ground last night. That's an interceptor exploding very close to the ground in Kuwait last night. Very, very close to the ground. You're looking at dashcam footage from Kuwait. Very concerning footage from Kuwait last night. I showed you the Shahed drone. I showed you the update from the civil authority. I showed you the Israeli warning. I showed you the footage of that interceptor exploding from the ground and from the air. I showed you the Israeli strikes in the south of Lebanon, 4 different strikes this morning. I showed you the damage inside the Kuwaiti International Airport. There were more strikes in the area of the Qadiyah Highway in South Lebanon. Israel was using white phosphorus bombs this morning on the town of Al-Hanaya in South Lebanon. There's your confirmation. This has been a wild morning. I have not seen anything like it. Let me show you more footage now from Kuwait. If you missed it earlier, let me show you more footage now from Kuwait where the American base and the Kuwait airport was attacked by Iran overnight. This is from Kuwait. If you're just waking up, it has all kicked off and there are very serious things happening. It is reminiscent of the first day of the war. This is Kuwait last night. All right, let's see. There is a small clip here. I think the Pentagon finally put out a statement. I don't know who they put it out through. Let me get that clip for you now. I think we finally have an American statement. They are, Hector, I agree. The air raid tones are just horrifying, coupled with the explosions. Let's take a listen to this short clip from Al Jazeera. Let's see. So they're reporting on last night. Trump at 8 p.m. was saying that he's continued his conversations with Iran. And he told Iran, it's time one way or another for you to make a deal. You've been doing this for 47 years and it cannot be allowed to go on. Let's take a listen to this 50-second report.
In a statement, U.S. Central
Good morning, Daviel. How are you?
Command saying that the U.S. military conducted airstrikes in what it says was self-defense on Iran's Qasem Island. Now, this, the United States says, was in response to attempted attacks on June 2nd against regional neighbors. And what we know is that the United States says that it was able to not only intercept missiles that were fired towards Bahrain, along with
Nonsense. Intercept nonsense.
Bahraini forces, but also that 2 of the Iranian ballistic missiles fired at Kuwait either fell short of their target or broke apart. Now,
dude, the Kuwaiti airport is burning. Oh no. Oh no, we're not going back to this. Oh no. I don't know if I can do this again. They can't go back to this style of blackout. The Kuwaiti airport is on fire and everybody knows, and they're lying. Oh no. Oh, we got, I thought that, no, I didn't. Actually, I never had confidence for 1 second that we were going to be ready to respond. We're just lying. Oh, we got caught completely flat-footed. Oh, they got us. And the president hasn't put out a statement and nobody's awake and they didn't do anything in response. Oh no. Oh, they got us. They got us good. I don't know what to say, folks. There is nothing more to report other than that. The Pentagon's response is woefully inadequate.
the U.S. Central Command also stating that there was an attempt to attack by Iran regional mariners, but that...
Bro. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if I can do this again. We can't do this. We can't live in this Kafkaesque Ministry of Truth world. Oh no. People are not going to believe that. They know the airport is burning. What do you... Oh no. Oh, we have no response. Oh, this is a very ominous feeling. Our response was that they fell short and you can't... Oh no, I need to keep myself composed here. Your war reporter towel is deeply concerned. I'm very, very concerned. I'm telling you that that's not true. The missiles didn't fall short in Kuwait. They destroyed the damn airport. You want to see the airport? You want to see the airport? I'll show you the damn airport. The airport is burning down. They destroyed the damn Kuwaiti airport. What do you mean they fell? They were intercepted and fell short. They destroyed the airport. Oh, goodness, Marsha, I have that feeling. I have the very bad feeling. That's the Kuwaiti airport like an hour or 2 hours ago. It might have taken a little time for someone to actually upload the footage. They burned the Kuwaiti airport down. At least Terminal 1, let me be specific, because there's apparently other terminals they might still be able to use. I wouldn't use them. Why would you use them while the airport's burning? Why would anyone go there? Iran has shown that they could just, at will, just bomb and destroy the airport. It's still burning. Yeah, I would say so. This is a problem. And our response is, the American official response, at least as relayed through Al Jazeera English, is, and I quote, the missiles in Bahrain were intercepted and the missiles in Kuwait fell short. Yep. And I am not a towel, and I was born yesterday. I am a towel, and I was not born yesterday. I'm upset. Oh, I'm really mad. We can't go down this road again. You can't lie to the people. You can't lie to them. You can't lie to them. They go on social media. They know what the people upload the footage. It's not 1996. Oh my goodness. CNN is not people's primary source of news. Good morning, Max Love. Good to see you. Let me take you now to St. Petersburg, where the attendees of the St. Petersburg International Economic Conference were greeted with these scenes this morning as they await President Putin's major speech.
Ебать! Ебать! Охуеть! Охуеть, сука, блядь! Сука, даже в багаж нормально не сходить. Просто дроны нахуй над головой, блядь. Охуеть. Ух, ебать!
Будто бы тепленький.
Да, теплый это был. Теплый жар ощутился.
That's anti-aircraft fire. Birds chirping is very eerie.
Друзья, посмотрите, что у нас происходит. Калининский район, 6 утра.
Don't follow leaders, watch your parking meters.
С балкона своего дома смотрю на это. Вот что у нас происходит. На самом деле взрывается, у нас трясутся окна. Вот мы с сыном спрятались за правило 2 стен. Вот я просто сейчас вышла посмотреть, потому что пришла новость, что у нас порт горит. Вот у нас там порт.
Silent Dog says that was a single .50 BMG firing. I'm not an expert in anything to do with that, but Silent Dogs absolutely knows their stuff. So that was someone using a single .50 BMG to try to stop a drone, I imagine. God bless you, Max Love. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be praying with you, my dear friend, and no war indeed. We pray for peace. How we got to this point, I have no idea. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be at that conference in Russia right now. I don't think Candace Owens is having a very good time. Hello, Great Tier Sector. The withholding of the information is just as bad, I agree. I want to remind you, Putin's supposed to speak in this city in like an unprotected building in like a couple hours. I don't know if that's going to happen. He didn't get permission from President Zelensky. So, yeah, that's St. Petersburg for you this morning. Let me take you now to a few further updates. You got me for a little bit longer. Let's just say the night was rough, okay? The night was very, very, very rough. In South Lebanon, in Kuwait, in Bahrain, apparently in Saudi Arabia, but I cannot confirm that because I haven't seen any primary sources. It's bad, folks. I don't know how to tell you it. Let me just show you inside the Kuwaiti airport one more time, just so that you understand. The U.S. Central Command said these missiles fell short. Do you think they did?
هذا الحريق هذه مسيرة طاحت هني فوق أمل الكويت هذا هذا الحريق هذه مسيرة طاحت هني فوق.
A statement from the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs just 29 minutes ago. Let me get it translated for you into the English and let's read it. We have a statement, ladies and gentlemen, from the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Allow me to have it read out for you by British reporter Towel. Actually, I'll just read it for you. Quote, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs expresses the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's condemnation and strongest denunciation of the treacherous Iranian aggression and blatant violation of the sovereignty of the sisterly Kingdom of Bahrain and the sisterly state of Kuwait, including the targeting of Kuwait International Airport and several of its vital facilities, which resulted in the death of one person and the injury of others. Stop. So, okay, that's the cable from the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They're mad. They got a cable out before the Americans responded. The Americans are just pretending none of this happened. Alright, now let me show you, this is military air defense footage. This is what the Russians tried to do to protect St. Petersburg. This is air defense footage. That is those air defenses they were using to shoot at the drones.
Не знаю, что они пытаются с оружием сделать.
They missed. So the Russians don't really have the best air defenses. Let me show you more footage from the Russians. These are anti-aircraft attempts to shoot down these drones. This is all they could do. This is what you heard in that other video. They're trying to stop that drone. That's the Russian military. That's all they could do. They didn't even have interceptors. That's the military of Russia. This is military footage of them trying to stop that drone. That's all they could do. That is their air intercept system in Saudi Arabia. Taking you to Kuwait now, where the Minister of Defense has visited the people injured in the dawn attacks on the airport and other vital infrastructure. These are official publications from the Kuwaiti Minister of Defense. Let me just take you to the actual statement. I will have it read out for you by British reporter Towel.
Conversation. Translated from Arabic. His Excellency.
Those were civil defense
Checks on the health
forces.
condition of the injured.
Thank you very much, Silent Dogs.
Checks on the health condition of the injured. His Excellency the Minister of Defense, Sheikh Abdullah Ali Abdullah Al Salam Al Sabah, visited the injured from the targeting of civilian and vital facilities, including Kuwait International Airport, early this morning, to check on their health condition and follow up on the medical care provided to them. During the visit, His Excellency listened to a detailed briefing from the medical team regarding their health status and the treatment services provided to them, wishing them a speedy recovery and continued health and well-being. His Excellency was accompanied during the visit by the Director General of the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, Sheikh M. Hamoud Mubarak Hamoud Al Sabah.
Okay, so these are the latest from the Kuwait government. You can see the Kuwaiti Minister of Defense visiting with those who were injured. One person was tragically killed this morning in the Iranian attack on Kuwait. Hello, Mercury Star. It's so good to see you. Not to meet you, to see you. I was reading your comment about connecting those two, George Galloway and Candace Owens. I don't think they'll be connecting in St. Petersburg. If Putin speaks, it will be a miracle. Silent Dogs, you enjoy that coffee. It's so good to see you, Snag Noir. How are you doing? God bless you. I have no idea how the market's going to respond to this in the East, in America when it opens, but we will be there, and I will let you know as I see it. So that was the situation in Kuwait. Okay, that was the Minister of Foreign Affairs visiting the injured from this morning's attacks. If you're just tuning in, we have had quite a series of attacks this morning across St. Petersburg in Russia, where Putin's is scheduled to speak across South Lebanon, across Kuwait. So distinct attacks. Russia bombed Kiev overnight. Ukraine then bombed St. Petersburg and other areas in response. That was one set of attacks. Israel has been bombing South Lebanon nonstop. Hezbollah has only attacked once in the north near Metula and Kiryat Shimona in the past 24 hours. Israel bombed like 60 times. Another front opened in the past 8 hours when America bombed satellite communications on Keshem Island. In response, Iran bombed the Kuwait International Airport, which Terminal 1 is now burning down. The American Air Base, Ali Al Salam, in Kuwait, which definitely was hit. I saw the footage. The American 5th Naval Fleet in Bahrain, which also suffered at least one impact. I saw the primary source footage. And then those were the only two confirmed reports. I heard unconfirmed reports on Iranian TV about attacks in Erbil on American positions, in Syria on one American base, and reports of attacks on Saudi Arabia, but the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not confirm anything about that in their statement, so as of now I'm going to say that's unconfirmed. All right. Now, taking you to footage from Russia, where Ukrainian drones struck the Russian bulky Stugutsky-class corvette of the Baltic Sea Fleet this morning. In addition, drones struck the St. Petersburg oil terminal. Let's take a look. This is footage out of Ukraine. All right, we don't need that. This is footage from Ukraine. This is published by the Ukrainian army. This is footage of Ukraine targeting Russian ships this morning as part of their attack that also included St. Petersburg. Max Love, I do my best. God bless you, my friend. I do my best. I try to keep people abreast about the various conflict fronts that are active throughout the world, and the Ukrainian-Russian front is certainly very important, not only for the civilians under threat of bombardment in those regions, but also in regards to the various escalatory tactics deployed by each side. Pick a handle, as General Smedley Butler once said, war is a racket. Marsha, God bless you. Yes, Marsha says, if you like the stream, please consider liking and subscribing. There are other ways to help the channel. God bless all of you who have been supporting this morning. But yes, it's a great way to let YouTube know. They actually featured this stream, I heard this morning. It was one of YouTube's featured lives. So that's great. Thank you all very much for watching and supporting Towel Stream, even among the intensity of it all. As you look at the images from the Ukrainian strikes, this was published by the Ukrainian, I think they have an office of like countering propaganda or something. So they put out primary source footage through their military. And this is, I think that office has like that seal, the trident up there. So yeah, this is from the Ukrainian army. Let me show you footage now from Finland, where a Ukrainian FP-1 drone skimmed just a few meters above the water on its way to deliver long-range sanctions to St. Petersburg earlier this morning. Where's the drone? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Look at it. Do you see the drone? See it skimming along there? It's like 1 meter above the water. See where my mouse is? I'm circling the drone. Look at the drone. Look at it. You can't radar detect something that low. Oh, it's like 5 feet off the ground. That's how it got to St. Petersburg. Look at it. Look at it. Did you see that drone? It's out of view now, but watch. He's going to zoom in. Look at this drone. This is a guy in Finland. He's probably on an icebreaker ship, building an icebreaker ship, working on a sauna, thinking about taking a sauna. People in Finland love saunas. I truly think it's a great idea. Did you know most apartments in Finland have saunas? You wouldn't think it, but it's like a mandatory requirement. You go into an apartment in Finland, it doesn't have a sauna. You look at the guy or the person or the woman selling the apartment, and you're like, where the hell's the sauna? You can't just have a Finnish apartment without a sauna. Unrelated to that, and the fact that Finland's national industry is building ice-breaking ships, which you also wouldn't really think about, but they have all these sort of waterways, they got to break up the ice in them, so they learned how to do it. They sell their technology in the form of ice-breaking ships, which is their national industry. You wouldn't know, but they're very effective at building ice-breaking ships. So there's a guy on a ship somewhere in Finland looking out over the water as that drone heads to St. Petersburg. There it is. You can avoid radar. That's a bird. And that's the drone. You can avoid radar detection if you stay that low. Radars don't work that low. You can't detect something that's literally 5 feet off the ground. Radar has to bounce signals off the ground. And it doesn't work really low. I'm not a radar technician. I have no idea how it works. Math, various signals, non-temporal pathways of communication. Who the hell knows? We'll have to get a scientist to explain it. The point is, all I know for layman's purposes, or layperson's purposes, who the hell knows, is that you can't detect something that low, and it's incredible that you really have to look at like the actual imagery to see the drone. Let me show you it on the full screen. This is actually pretty cool. It's just from an hour or two ago. That's a Russian drone, a Ukrainian drone heading to Russia. This is Finland. The guy's filming the drone skimming the water. You see what's in the circle of my mouse? You see that drone skimming the water? That's a bird. Ignore the bird. Look at the drone. Ignore this. That's a bird. Focus over here. Yep, not something you see every day. I'm sure the Finnish people were very confused, Max Love. The people of Finland got a bunch of alerts that there were drones flying around. They probably had no idea. Taking you this morning to Tyre, Sur in South Israel, South Lebanon, north of Israel, where an Israeli strike, a double tap strike, nearly took out an ambulance crew. Please be aware, this could be quite loud. Oh, wow. See, the strike was right up there. They almost hit that ambulance crew. That's a body camera from within a Lebanese civil response unit. An Israeli double tap strike almost hit the ambulance there. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. We are in quite a precarious situation right now. If you're just tuning in, Iran launched a surprise series of escalatory attacks across the Gulf, in Bahrain and Kuwait in particular. The Kuwaiti airport is destroyed, at least Terminal 1. It burned down, basically. It's still burning. It was still burning as of an hour ago. Let me show you some of the strikes on Kiev overnight by Russia. Pulsar says, what I've been seeing throughout this whole war in Ukraine, both sides have been rapidly adapting and developing new tech and strategies. The question is who could hold out longer. I agree 100%, my friend. Let me show you some of the Russian strikes on Kiev overnight. Please be aware this could be loud. Oh my word. This was last night. Apocalyptic scenes in Kiev last night. This is the Ukrainian capital last night. Oh my god. Was that a ballistic missile? This is unlike anything I've seen. Oh my god. It spiked the frame rate on the stream. It was so loud. Oh! They hit a civilian building with a ballistic missile. You can see the trail. Oh, that's absolutely horrifying. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. I don't know what to tell you about that. That is shocking. You can literally see that civilian building right there. That's an apartment building. They just demolish it. Oh! Oh, they struck the thing with a ballistic missile. Oh my word. Oh, wow. And that footage is from far away too. I don't even know what to tell you about that. That is very intense. That was Kiev last night. Here's another video from Kiev. Is that a ballistic missile flying over the head of the camera? Oh, it is. That's a ballistic... Oh, this is terrifying. That's a ballistic missile, too. Look at this thing. Oh! Oh, my word! Oh, goodness. I've never seen anything like this footage. Oh my. This is Kiev last night. This is Kiev last night, maybe 7 to 8 hours ago. This is Kiev, Ukraine, the Ukrainian capital. This is just incredible footage. I can't believe someone managed to get this. That is a ballistic missile at a low trajectory hitting a civilian apartment building, and the cameraman catches. This is like the guide part of the missile, and that's the missile itself. Watch the missile. It's flying. That's incredibly fast. It's going to come in from the top left. You see it right there? That's the missile. Watch how fast this missile goes. That's the Russian ballistic missile. Oh my word. If this is a preview of what Iran is able to do in Israel, this is very concerning. That's a very serious impact on a civilian building. It's decimated. Oh my word. No, Chris, you're going to be shocked. There was a second round of attacks in Kiev. Perhaps this was from the first round, but no, I can confirm last night that there was new Russian shelling on Ukraine. There was another round. Nightbot scolded Dennis. It's good to see you this morning, Dennis. How are you doing? I do believe this was actually overnight, Chris. There was another round of shelling on Ukraine, which led Ukraine in turn to shell St. Petersburg, well, right before Putin was going to speak. Let me show you footage yesterday or today from Kharkiv after the sun rose of a Russian Shahed drone being shot down over Kharkiv. This was today, once the sun rose. So good to see you, Dennis. God bless you, my friend. So you're looking at footage from Kharkiv in Ukraine this morning after the sun rose, and that's an intercept of a Russian Shahed drone heading for the city. In Israel, for their part, struck a target who had escaped a targeted assassination earlier in the day in Sidon on the side of a highway in the south of Lebanon. Let's take a look at the traffic cam footage. The strike's going to be right here. You see the strike? He was hiding under a bridge on his motorcycle and they got him. This was a targeted strike just maybe 2 hours ago in Lebanon. Notice the civilian traffic is just driving on the road. The IDF doesn't care. They bomb right there. Right there. On a highway on-ramp. Hezbollah, for their part, oddly, has not responded. They responded once, but we're in a very odd state right now. Something's coming. I'm telling you, mark my words. Let me take you actually to the southern Lebanese city of Sor, where Israel has shockingly issued an order for the Christian inhabitants of the city to go around expelling what they say are Hezbollah, but I really think they're telling them to kick the Arabs or the Muslims out of the old quarter of Sor. Israel has avoided bombarding only one sector of Sor. Let me show you it on the map behind me. So Sor is the oldest. It's called Sor in Arabic or Tyre in English. It's right here. It's the oldest continuously inhabited city on earth, okay? In the very tip of it, where my mouse is the old quarter, which is inhabited by Christians. Israel has ordered the entire city, except for the old quarter, to evacuate. Yesterday, oh, 1 second. Little frame drop. Hold on, little turbulence. We're back. The old city of Tyre, the old city of Sor, the Christian city. Let's listen to what the residents have to say in response. Hello, Standing Stones. It's so good to see you this morning. Hello, 20th Century Foxy. I agree, it's terrifying. But let's listen to this report. This area has not been bombed yet, but it is under threat of Israeli bombardment as we speak. Here's a translated report from the old city of Tyre, or Sur, in South Lebanon.
الذي قام بجولة طمأنة للمواطنين مساء أمس واستمر حتى الساعة 2 فجرا، وكان معهم رئيس بلدية صور. هو يجول مع وفد من مديرية المخابرات في الجيش اللبناني في إطار طمأنة والتأكيد على أن هذا الحي هو حي ليس فيه أي مظهر من المظاهر العسكرية، وهو حي يسكن فيه المواطنون بأمان طالما أنه ليس محددا بالإنذارات. رئيس بلدية صور الآن هو موجود، هو يجول على على المواطنين ويتحدث إلى الفعاليات هنا. عملتوا الجولة حتى الساعة 2 بالليل امبارح، واليوم عم ترجعوا تفوتوا على الحي. شو الرسالة الأساسية اللي عم توصلوا؟
خلينا نمشي.
الرسالة الأساسية صور عائلة واحدة، ما في تمييز أبدا بين العائلات كلياتها وكلنا أهل. طبيعي الخبر كان يعني او بينزل الخبر بتعرف انه بيصدم، في صدمه بالاول الشوك. الجوله نحن والمخابرات الجيش ابونا مارس موف الممثل الفعاليات الروحيه هون عملنا جوله تطمين واطمئنان والسلام وتسليم.
شو الاجراءات اتخذت امبارح؟
يعني هي طبيعي اجراءات بالتوصيه بعدم التجمعات الكبيره، بتعرف الناس زهقانه بدها تطلع تروح، وبالنهايه الاصول مدينه حيه طول عمرها والناس كمان لها حاجات، فهيدا اللي عم تمشي. يعني فيك تسكر القهوه ما في بتصير مثلا، ما هي عم تقدم حدا بده يتروح حدا بده يجي،
ما في مواطنين.
طب ايه في نبض حياه، هيدا نبض الحياه نحن ما بنوقفه ابدا، ولكن بنحتاط فيه وما بينعمل شيء مثلا هيك شيء اوفر. تنظيم القضيه هيدي بس. هدف الجوله الاساسي هو التطمين والتاكيد انه نحن واحد وعائله وحده وما في شيء بيفرقنا.
البعض من حكى انه طلب من البعض مغادره او شيء، هيدي
ابدا. يمكن حادثه فرديه وحده نتيجه هيدا لما واحد شك الخبر نفسه بحد والتوتر ادى يمكن حاله وحده فرديه، ما في حدا من قاعدين مع بعض وعايشين مع بعض.
شو بتقول للعائلات من ابناء المدينه اللي نزحوا عن هذا الحي نتيجه الانذار؟ يعني
نحن عائله وحده ما في حدا يفرقنا، وهن مقتنعين فيها وبيعيشوا هالامر هيدا، يعني ما بحاجه لحدا يقنعهم، ما بحاجه لحدا يطمنهم بمعنى الاطمئنان، غير انه نكون موجودين بيناتهم، نكون موجودين مع بعض، وتكون المحبه هي السيده. المحبه هي الاساس بكل المواضيع هذه كلياتها.
شكرا لك رئيس بلديه صور. طبعا كنا قد قمنا.
What a powerful message from the mayor of Sur. Love is the foundation. Let me get his exact quote.
مع بعض وتكون المحبه هي السيده. المحبه هي الاساس.
Love is the foundation of all these matters. How well said. Beautiful words. Good morning, Dinosaur. It's so good to see you, my friend. God bless you. We're watching a translated report from the Christian quarter of the old city of Tyre, or Sur, in southern Lebanon, which is under a threat from the IDF this morning for a potential forced evacuation if the Christian residents do not remove Hezbollah elements from the city or that area of the city. The rest of the city of Sur has been under relentless bombing and a forced displacement order, which is a war crime over the past 3 days, if not longer. Furthermore, we're going to continue listening to this interview. Then I'll give a wrap up as to the chaos that has unfolded with the Iranian attack on Bahrain and Kuwait, including the American 5th Naval Fleet base in Bahrain and the American Ali Al Salam Air Base in Kuwait, and the Kuwaiti airport terminal, one of which was on fire just a few hours ago following a destructive attack by the Iranians, who said they were disproportionately responding to an American attack on Qashm Island yesterday evening. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Let's go back to the ancient city of Sur, where the residents are being interviewed, and I've translated it to English for you for an on-the-ground perspective in the face of Israeli non-stop continuous bombing. Wow, that's very cool, Dennis. God bless you.
طبعا كنا قد قمنا بالجولة قبل نصف ساعة تقريبا، والآن مع الوفد الأمني والعسكري ورئيس بلدية صور، وهي رسالة جديدة بكل
Alerts! Hezbollah has fired a rocket at Mishav Gam. I repeat, alerts! Hezbollah has fired a rocket at Mishav Gam. Nope, it's that sound again. It's only one rocket. It's a rocket of peace, clearly. It's been fired at Mishav Gam. Mishkav Am, excuse me. There is a rocket alert. It's that sound. Silent Dogs is going to come running. He'll be in the garden. The dogs will hear it. He'll hear it. Yes, Hezbollah has launched. It's one rocket. It's a rocket of peace, clearly. It's at Mishkav Am, which is to the northwest of Kiryat Shimona, the south west of Metula. It's a very northernmost city in the finger of the Galilee in Israel. So yes, rocket fire indeed. All right, let's go back to our translated interview with the mayor actually of Sur. Yeah, I expect more missiles. I expect lots of missiles today. I hate to say it, but this is a very ominous feeling. Hello, OG. Good morning. How are you doing?
العسكرية. الفعاليات الروحية البلدية الأمنية والعسكرية هي الموجودة داخل هذا الحي، كما يعني نشاهد والمواطنون هنا يعني يخرجون للحديث مع الوفد الذي يزور هذا الحي في إطار يعني الرسالة الجديدة بأن هذا الحي آمن. هناك مواطنون من أبناء المدينة من نزحوا من أحياء أخرى داخل المدينة إلى هذا الحي، ونشاهد هذا الوفد الآن وهو يكمل جولته، الجولة التي قمنا بها قبل قليل في هذه الشوارع وفي هذه المنازل المتلاصقة. يعرف المواطنون بعضهم البعض، يعني الجدران على جدران المنازل هي ربما مشتركة في بعض الأحياء، هي منازل أثرية قديمة، الكل يعرف من يسكن في كل منزل، وهي لا تصلح لأي عمل عسكري. وحتى يعني من كان يدخل في دراجة نارية ليتنقل بين الأحياء في مدينة صور، حتى أن الجيش اللبناني أقام حواجز لمنع المرور في هذه الحارة لمن ليس له منزل أو مكان هنا. وكما نشاهد يعني هي يعني تكاد تكون الجولة فردية على كل منزل من المنازل للتواصل مع المواطنين في ظل وجود الفعاليات البلدية والروحية. طبعا التركيز على هذا الحي هو لأنه الحي الوحيد الذي لم يحدد بالإنذارات.
Oh my word, the Kuwaiti Civil Authority, according to Ariel Orsaran of Israel's I-24, says that 63 people were wounded in the Iranian strikes on Kuwait overnight. 1 dead, 63 wounded.
وبالتالي المواطنون بقوا في منازلهم. صحيح أن الحي سماه الاحتلال الإسرائيلي بالحي المسيحي، لكنها هي الحارة القديمة المعروفة في طرابلس، حارة قديمة نسبة لمنازلها ولآثار وتاريخ هذه المنازل، والحارة هي تضم من جميع الأطياف، وبالتالي وجودهم هنا واحتضانهم لأي شخص من خارج الحي أيضا هي رسالة للتعايش.
Just a heartbreaking message from the residents of Sur, the northern Christian old city in particular. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. The world is in a dangerous place right now, and there is no off-ramp. The off-ramp of doing nothing is not an off-ramp. It's an invitation for more attacks. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. You've been watching Towel News. You got me for almost 3 hours. At the top of the hour, I gotta get ready to go to my doctor's. But I'll stay with you as long as I can. I don't know when the U.S. response is coming. I don't know what they're gonna do. But if you do nothing here, if you treat this like the UAE attack, the Iran attack on UAE over recent weeks during the ceasefire, it's an invitation for very bad things. Hello, We Care. It's so good to see you. Good morning. And this was a message from Iran. It was a targeted attack on only U.S. positions. It was not an attack on Israel. It was an attack on U.S. positions and Kuwaiti infrastructure, which is exactly what the Iranians said they were going to do if America struck one more time. Good morning, Max Love, again, and have a great day, my friend. Thank you for being here. It's my honor to report this news. Good morning, First 48. How are you doing, sir? So we have a serious situation developing. I mean, throughout the region, we have a serious situation. What the American response will be, I don't know. I'm sitting here pensive and apprehensive and as nervous as the rest of you. It's only a matter of time. You can't let what happened last night go unanswered. There's destruction. I'll show you the airport in Kuwait. If you're just tuning in, it's coming up on 7:45 in the morning here, U.S. wartime in Boston. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. You're watching Towel News. YouTube.com/Grant Smith Ellis. It is, 1:45 p.m. in South Africa. It's 2:45 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and it's 3:15 p.m. in Tehran, Iran. That would be Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. We indeed have a situation. We have a developing situation. There is that feeling. All of the combatants seem to be on edge. It's just a matter of when, not if. The attacks overnight in Kuwait have caused just destruction. I don't think destruction is a word for it, but they've caused massive injuries. They've caused death. And they've caused the incapacitation of certain terminals within the Kuwaiti airport, the international airport, which I'm showing you now. Pulsar says, the Maronite Church in Lebanon have prayers in my language, Syriac, including the Hail Mary. Shalom lek Maryam Malayat Talburik Alako Shmek. I'm sure I did not get that right at all, but I did my very best. I agree, Mercury Star. This is the Kuwaiti airport this morning, folks. This is what the sun rose on. That is most certainly destruction throughout Terminal 1 of the Kuwaiti International Airport. One person was killed in this strike. Multiple people were injured. This is the Kuwaiti International Airport this morning, if you're just tuning in. Here is the footage from the moment of the attack. They hit it while civilians were in the airport.
هذا الحريق هذه المسيرة طاحت هني. هذا الحريق هذه المسيرة طاحت هني.
I don't even know what to say. Iran issued warnings. They said if America bombed one more time, they would escalate, and Iran certainly did. Alright, I need to go prepare for my doctor's appointment. I have to see the doctor today, but I will be back later this afternoon. Don't worry. If anything happens, I'll be there. Now, you saw the alert that just went up over the north of Kiryat Shimona. There is the interceptors that were fired. Yes, this was literally you saw the alert, you heard the ringing. Those are the interceptors that were fired, which got the Hezbollah rockets. See the interceptions? So no impacts. There was also a Hezbollah drone that was intercepted over Kiryat Shimona a few hours ago. I'll show you footage of that now. And those are the only two attacks that Hezbollah has launched at the north of Israel over the past 24 hours. So let me just show you that drone interception now, if you would be so kind. Here's the drone that was intercepted over the north of Kiryat Shimona earlier this morning, about 2 hours ago. See you, Mercury Star. I will be back later this morning. Maybe later this afternoon, unless nothing happens, in which case I'll be even more concerned. Thank you for watching Towel News, though. As we get close to the top of the hour, I haven't done a donation read, so thank you for all of you who have been supporting Towel News with your likes of the stream, your subscriptions to Towel News, your memberships, your membership gifting, your donations, all of it. You are all so kind. We've been going for about 3 hours. I would be remiss if I did not, even without my dear friend Triple Bob, drop the donate button in the chat. Marsha, thank you so much for your well wishes. It was great to see you. OG, it was great to see you. 20th Century Foxy, Standing Stones, the First 48, Highland Dogs. It was great to see you all. Mercury Star, Kimberly, it was great to spend some time with you. But yes, if you like what you're seeing here today, feel free to support Towel News. Hashtag feed towel, get towel a coffee, whatever it is you'd like to do. There's a Cash App money sign Grant Smith Ellis. There's a Venmo at Grant-E1. There's a PayPal, paypal.me/Grant Ellis. There is also a Revolut. By the way, if you don't have Cash App, did you know you can follow the link that's going to drop in the chat right now? Ooh, I put a space between the exclamation point and the Cash App. If you follow this link and you don't have Cash App and you send $5 to anyone, it could be your sister, it could be me, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, you get $5 and then I get $30. Isn't that great? Everybody wins. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me do my traditional outro. I got to get my friend Pete Bunny Towel. Hold on. So if you're new to this stream, my dear friend Francine, she's probably not up yet, but her friend is Pete Bunny Towel. When she rewatches this, she'll get to see him. This is the channel mascot. He's a stuffed Pete Bunny. His name's Pete Bunny Towel. He likes to come in at the end to remind you of a few things. 1, thank you for supporting Towel News. 2, I gotta do Tippecanoe and Tyler 2, where I list the U.S. presidents to check my mental acuity at the end of every stream. As many as I can. President Washington, President Adams, President Jefferson, President Madison, President Monroe, President Adams Jr., President Jackson, President Van Buren, skip 9, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 11. You're going to get, oh, hold on, frame drop. Wait a second. We can't have frame drops during Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. I might have to start again. No, I'll start again. Hold on. I'm going to wait for it to stabilize. I can't be having frame drops during Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. President Washington, President Adams, President Jefferson, President Madison, President Monroe, President Jackson, President Van Buren. Skip 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is President Fillmore, then to Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. So that's going to be Polk, Taylor, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, FDR, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. How about them apples? Yeah, Timbuktu, Tippecanoe, and Tyler 2, however you want to do it. Ah, indeed, Silent Dogs, you have a wonderful time out in the garden. Say hello to the dogs for me. But yes, if you learned something today, if you benefited from the chat today, if you like Pete Bunny Towel, if you want to pay it forward, do consider doing a small act of service or kindness for people out there around you today. Consider a donation to our homeless vets or our service members or their families. There should not be one veteran homeless in the United States of America against their will, or we have failed as a country, ladies and gentlemen. They fought for our freedoms. The least we can do is donate to help them today. Do consider such a donation. You may also consider a donation to animal shelters. Pete Bunny Towel is not an animal. He's a stuffed Pete Bunny. But you may consider a donation to animal shelters run by veterans or that help our veterans or service members. A great way to help our fur friends and our veterans. If you can't find such a shelter, you could consider a donation to a animal shelter in general. Everyone loves our fur friends. Hashtag save the goats, or the sheep, or the cows, or the dogs, or the cats, or whatever type of animal, the dolphins, orcas, whatever you may like, save them all. Likewise, if you're in the UK, you may consider a donation to The Big Issue. It is a great way to help the homeless population in the UK, and you may consider such a donation today. But it doesn't have to be a donation. It can be something as simple as smiling at someone on the street, reaching out to a friend or family member you haven't heard from in a while, or yes, even giving away 200 tomato plants like Francis Frutrell did one time and having them designated honorary towels during the outro forevermore. Yes, in that way, may we all continue to pray the current realpolitik does not devolve into one centered on expanding and preserving and demonstrating our power, but instead one centered on preserving, expanding, and demonstrating our capacity to engage in small acts of service and kindness rooted in unconditional love. Therein, living up to our Tau Eudaimonia or Summum Bonum, our greatest good in the ancient Greek or Latin respectively, in turn bringing about a new digital epoch defined by Aquarius the water bear, standing tall and carrying a towel. Thank you all, each one of you, for being with me today. Username, it's good to see you, and Pick a Handle, and Marcia, and all my wonderful towel friends, Paul Sar and OG. If you were with us today, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Thank you for welcoming me into your home or wherever you were watching Towel News today. 20th Century Foxy, so good to see you. I will be back with you all soon, so I won't do our traditional closing. I'll just say, God bless you. Be well. I continue to pray for peace. I hope you do as well. May God protect all of us. May God protect these United States. And my name is Grant Smith Ellis. Until I see you again on Towel News, thank you for being with me. Thank you for being you. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the case may be. God bless you all.